Yo, yo, what's going on, everybody? Covenant Dip coming at you guys with another one.
Another one.
How's everybody feeling out there? A little bit earlier time we're coming on, man, but the Bulls and Knaves threw a curveball and wanted us to, you know what I mean, slide on a little bit earlier. So, Tuesday is, at least I think it's Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday. I had to make sure. Tuesday is the time where we got our tankonomics or tokenomics or whatever you would like to call it within the Bulls and Apes project. So it's when we tap in, we kind of see what's going on with the tokenomics and a lot of different things that are going on. But of course, first we got to kind of go through the market, especially with the different things we got going on right this second. Definitely some interesting things going on within the market. We'll kind of check that out. Set some stuff up real quick. Give me 2 seconds. And I'll pop on. We'll check some things out. Bang. Oh, that's why I'm trying to figure out my screen looks funny, my lighting's funny. Alright. Get that situated. And in the meantime, I'm sorry about that. I definitely don't want to be rude. What's going on, Tillery? Hashtagging that Flight Club BAP. We got Christine in the building. Definitely appreciate you for sliding through. What's up, Christine? Saying hey to Tillery. What's up, Grind Time? Yo, yo, what's the word? How you guys feeling today? Hopefully everybody's groovy. Feeling good out there. I'm interested to see what type of information we're gonna get dropped inside of this space, man, and what it does to some floor prices that we got currently sitting right now. So we'll look into that also. But let me pull up. Bam, me. What did I do with my T? Oh, it's all bad. It's way over there. No. All right, it's okay. All right, what's going on, everybody? What's the word? What's the word? How you guys feeling today? Let's see, man. Let's get this situated. All right, so All right, so we're starting off right now with as you guys know, recently reset not too long ago, but Bitcoin, we're looking at 21,224 bucks, which is not too bad at all, period. A little bit of a 1% push up. Same thing on Ethereum, 1,573 bucks. So, but still up 21% and 17% on the week, so not bad. BNB pushes underneath 300. I think a couple of things actually retraced a little bit, and we got a little bit of space for them to run a little bit if they do push forward as far as volume. But we do have that pesky FOMC meeting and CPI data that we're actually not looking forward to. So but we did have a little bit of run on Dogecoin, up about 3% almost at 8.5 cents. Polygon at about $1 even. Solana at 22 buckaroos. Okay. Shiba, what we up? 11.4%. I actually called out for, I don't know if anybody was on the stream, and I actually called out and said Shiba was going to run a little bit. It was poised to run. I think I told my boy Big Perm that too, that Shiba was going to run a little bit. Crow is almost at 8 cents, so yeah, definitely a good day. We got ApeCoin down a little bit. Was at about $5, now it's at 4.84, so down almost about 2%. So some things went up, some things went down. Let's check, see what we got going currently right now. So I just threw up my trend line. Oh shit, I hate when I do that. These hate it. I'm out of it. You know what? Delete the whole line. How about that? Lock everything else in. All right, so right here around this range is kind of where we're at right this second. We're reaching what feels like resistance level right here, trying to pass through to kind of get to this next step to where we can get to closer to 1600. Then we got a little gap right here where it'll probably run if it does, then getting closer to 1600, and then we have to really break this this threshold and then get above that range. But as you can see, it was uptrending for a little bit, dipped down underneath it, had a little bit of volume, used it as support a couple times, and then we went underneath it again within these last couple hour time frames, and it's still a little bit of a sell-off going on currently. So got to get up and above this range to, I guess, remain within the uptrend, or we could get pushed down from here and try some of these other ranges. But as long as we're using this area as a support and trying to go up, it should be okay though. What's going on, Hambone? Yo, what's the word, man? How you feeling today, man? Yo. Feels good to be finished with work, dinner, errands, and now chilling here, bro. Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely, man. Appreciate you guys coming. Man, I'm chilling, man. Where be the tacos, man? Man, that's what I'm trying to figure out too, man. There were supposed to be some tacos technically here. And shit, man, I was actually waiting on the tacos, but I did not receive the tacos that I was waiting on. What's going on, Big Perm? I was actually just speaking about you, my brother, telling you that I mentioned that she was gonna have a little bit of a breakout, and it did. What is it up right now? What is Sheep up? Sheep's up about 12% right now. All right, so even if hopefully that's not too extractive, I can change it. Let me see. White. have it just lightly shaded for y'all. That way y'all can see it a little bit better. Like super dark. Alright, that's a little bit easier to see, I think. Let me know if it's not. But yeah, so that's what we're currently working on right now. As you can see, we were going up and up for a little bit. Besides this sell-off, man, we had to sell off. We got magnetized to this trend line for a little bit, went up, came back down underneath it, used it as support, got rejected a couple more times, went above it, used it as support, launched off of it a little bit, came back down, sold underneath it pretty significantly, then ended up coming back up, and as you can see, tried to use it as support a couple times, bounced up, and now we're back underneath it, using it as resistance again. So we're gonna see as we transition if this tries to continue to go up or if it will get pushed down and kind of knocked out of this trend that it was previously in, but it's still within the same channel that it was previously. So, and that's actually on the 1 hour also, so you got some a little bit of wiggle room in between, especially with it just being on a 1 hour. I just like looking more in depth into the trends. Then if you if I pull this back, you see I got a couple different ranges, which it'd be better to show you guys on a lesser time frame. All right. What about like drawings? Why was that considered a drawing? Of course it is. What am I doing? I'm cool on that. All right, so try to make it as little confusing as possible. There's a bunch of shit going on right now. We're still getting to the top of this channel where you can see it's heavy resistance at, which is why we keep going up and getting sold off around this range, around like 1600 or so. You can see the amount of resistance that's right here. But once it does, if it does break past this level, it's less resistance, and next range will probably be around right here. Then it probably should make it past this level. And next range you're looking at is like 1700 or 1710 or so, because you're probably gonna have another significant resistance level kind of holding you up around that range. Chicago style pizza, yes sir. Nice. All right, yeah, most definitely. Good big perm. What's going on? Justin Grover 04. What's the word, man? How you feeling, man? Oh yeah, if you guys didn't hear, there's only 70, well there was, I'm pretty sure there's not still now, there was only 71 incubators left to mint any team bull. So if you did not get your team bull on, there's only 71 incubators left. Or was, let me keep saying was. Want to drop that in Discord. All right, bam. Want to get that out. Yeah, so there's only 71 incubators yet. So I think they may be minted out either today or tomorrow. Well, not minted out, but like people, I don't want to say they're hoarding them. There's some people that have some incubators. Should we take ETH profits now, sir? That's interesting question. Interesting question, right? Man, it seems to be going on a downtrend. I know, right? I hope not. everybody hopes not at this point, but this is just what we're left with. You know what I mean? All right, so let's kind of put this in perspective. So we can look at it two ways. So there's potential to go up and potential to go down within this situation, and this is just me just looking at what we have as far as like just information right there. Second, so this area right here is kind of holding, which I could expand that a little bit, I guess. This area of resistance right here where you see it keep going up and down and up and down, this is the 1 week chart, so you won't see as much motion, but this is basically what we've been doing with that choppy line that we saw previously on the 1 hour. We're just going up and down within this same range within what, 1550 to about 1600, so within a $50 window. We pretty much just been going up and down within this range, trying to bust out of this area right here, which is pretty much what we did previously right here with this range at 1329. Then it ran, because you see this wide open window, they left the window open, so they ran completely through with this this ETH chart, came up here, got some support, and managed to keep this support level. So you can see the different ranges that I have marked. This is the first range that I will mark the green because this is the support that it could possibly come to. This is that in between that we're floating in between, and then this is the resistance level that if we do break through, we're going to hit a significant resistance level around this range. So it's if it holds a support within this range, or if it gets sold back off down into this range, at that point I see us coming back down to support. Let's see. And even on a day, you can see the significant levels. You can see where it starts to land right here, where you see it's kind of sitting on a support level right here before it breaks past this support level and then kind of comes down. But I feel like if it breaks past this support level and maintains that downward trend, at that point we're probably going to come out of this uptrend possibly and keep, as you can see, it's a bunch of just free fall area. Once it breaks past this one, it's some soft support levels that it could bounce off of depending on volume, but it you know what I mean, it's a more significant area that it can come down, then reach its next support around this range, around like 1300 again. That's if we don't have more of a sell-off and selling pressure. Can you compare the last time it pumped to 2K months ago to see if we have any differences or is it the same thing? Check your phone. Yeah, sure. Let me see. Yeah, we had pretty good levels right now. Still maintaining this support, so. All right, so got this one. I'm on 4 hour right now. And it's like this for a bunch of charts right now. Some charts have already started to downtrend. Let me see, like ape downtrend a little bit, crow a little bit. Thank you, baby. Alright, which one is it for? I'm on 4 hours. Sorry, my daughter distracted me really quick. Alright, so line this up on a 4 hour. You see we have a hell of an uptrend that happened right here. Different run-ups and resistance levels that kind of stop it, but it kind of stair steps its way up a little bit. And you see right here, it had a significant range, but it actually pushed through, kept going, got to here. This is where I thought it might get hung up at, but it did not. It used it as a support and bounced up, came into this range. Similar to, this is a similar pattern to what it's kind of doing now, more or less. It got to that range, got sold off, came down to pretty much that range low at the time, hit support, and then ran up from there. So if we reenact the same thing, there's a good possibility we may get some good volume here, pop up and above this, and then kind of keep running from here. So that's if it keeps the same pattern. There's no guarantee that it will. Let's go. Back to the day chart. I'm on that damn crow. That's what threw me off. I'm like, what? I'm like, this don't look damn right. I'm like, what is this? Jesus. All right, bam. I'm like, this don't look goddamn right, but all right, there we go. Let me go back to my 4 hour chart then. I'm throwing my damn self off. I heard Soul is trying to run again. Is that true? I need to check that out really quick. I have not looked at yeah, no, that's a nice little run up. It's similar to ETH, man. Everything's been following ETH pretty nice. You see it comes up to here, significant resistance level, flips this, use it as a support, launches off of it, significant resistance level, flips it, use it as a support, and then it runs up. Significant resistance level, hits it a bunch of times. We just need to see if it flips it, use it as a support, and then we could see a continued run up here. But there's a flip side to this. If there is a sell-off on Ethereum, as we've been kind of not stagnant, but there's been a little less volume, but I feel like it's still trying to stair step its way up, but we're getting closer and closer to the end of the month. Closer and closer to the end of the month. Ambone, I see you put in a support ticket. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. for the method for NFTs. It's super simple. Let me see. Super simple to put the. I'll move this over here. BC up. Or open a ticket. All right, so. All right, so you guys gotta so how you do it is, am I on a support ticket right now? I don't think I'm on one right now. Just open a ticket. So some people are commenting under, all you do is open a ticket. So literally you hit open a ticket, this is gonna open like 8,000 tickets. And let me delete this because I don't want because that way it'll be in a private message. Did I delete it? No, I didn't. Shit. All right, Sam. All right, so, and I just created 8,000 tickets. Miss. All right, so this would be the screen that you come in right now. What you do is, so let's just say you're in the general chat. So this is the general chat of where you would first come in, and this is where everybody talks at. You can look through, there's multiple different text channels. If you're looking for a trade, you can go through here. You know what I mean? You can do a lot of different things. Let me see. This is basically like our own trading channel. This little chill and chill channel. So there's a couple different things that we got going on here. People post whatever they want to in there. But if you're looking for the support tickets, it's right up top. So you go bam, support ticket. You click on open a support ticket. Bam. This little tab right here will open a support ticket. So bam, just click that. Once you click this, you're done. You know what I mean? I'll contact you. It'll show up on this side. It'll show like ticket 30 or whatever ticket number you are. And once you see that ticket number, just pay attention to that. It'll be like a little red symbol next to it once somebody actually claims it and starts messaging you back. But you just put your info in, like I said, just wallet address and how many NFTs you currently have, so we can actually know what's here. Bam, it's super simple. Then the next day you'll get your airdrop. So it's literally that simple. Click on that, bam, smack, blow. You know what I mean? Keep it as simple as possible. Let me know if that wasn't as useful. Yeah, well that technically wasn't it. That was a comment underneath it, but I gotta hopefully that helps. Hopefully. What's going on, Yame? Yo. Yeah, so you just click it, and then you should be able to you know what I mean, get the ticket from there and then go from there. But yeah, Soul, I'm not gonna lie, Soul, if it breaks past this level, looks pretty good. If it does not break past this level, we can see it come down pretty heavy too. So it's a double-edged sword on Soul. We're right back. What is it, 4 hours, right? Yeah, 4 hour. Right back, trying back at this downtrend line to see if we're gonna get pushed down. Support right underneath it, so not really super worried about that portion. We shall see. Let me know how you guys are feeling about the market currently. Jeez, can't spell today. You already saw Crow? Yeah, I actually had Crow up for a little bit. And right now it's trading within this little channel. I mean, it's hit some different ranges above it, but this is the ranges that I would like to see it come out of. It's kind of trading sideways around here. Not bad at all though. It's kind of, it did the same stair step thing that Ethan and everything else pretty much did. Broke that level, used it as support, and that's what you would like to see for continued uptrend. Continued uptrend to be will be not too bad on this one. Get above what is this, about 8 cents, almost 8 cent flat, and then keep running up from there. That'd be nice to see. One hell of a relief rally. I don't think it's gonna stick for too damn long though, I'm just gonna be honest. Yeah, most definitely. If you guys got any questions about the meth rewards, keep them coming. Speaking of meth rewards and keeping them coming, we got 14 minutes until the Bulls and Ape space comes on. So like I said, we're gonna chill. We're gonna listen to the alpha. If you guys have any questions at all, period, feel free to ask them. I'm sitting right here. I'm rocking with you guys, man. So we will see what we got going on and kind of go from there, man. So take a short break, be right back, man. I'll jump into some of these floor prices that we got for the Bulls and Apes project, bears on the block, bulls on the block, stuff like that. I feel like those are probably going to be the next ones to blow. I'm just going to be 110% honest with you. There's a couple different spaces that have been scheduled out specifically just for those NFTs. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely get in tune and look at that project also, as it is very similar to a Team Bull and actually pretty cost effective. So give me 2 seconds, we'll be right back, and holler at you guys in 2 seconds. I almost forgot to switch my scene back. man, what? My boy talking like, yeah, man, cooking, listening, bang, bang. All right, nice, yep. All right, so we got Bulls and Ace pace, 10 minutes. We got the charts looking like, shit, I don't know what they're, well, I do know what they're looking at, but we don't know what's gonna happen just yet. It's up in the air. Let's look at the Bulls on the blocks floor. This is the Evo floor, 0.06. So we got 0.06 for the well, damn, did that just change real quick? Or is that a 0.1? How the fuck is it? Oh, okay, wait a minute, Jesus. Let me try refreshing again, because something ain't working. It's out of order. Hold on 2 seconds, y'all. Yeah. All right, so point 7. Why does this look like this, yo? Oh, cause it's on recently listed. Don't judge me. Ooh, I should have got that one with the rose. All right, so 0.078 is the floor right now, which fiat is 123 bucks, which is not bad at all. Period. For an NFT that makes methane token. Go to the OGs. 0.089. So it's holding up its floor pretty well. Let's see. Vern, you still using VV? Yeah, you already know he got VV. He probably been buying it every other day. I forgot the drop today. Oh, it was a drop today for VV. All right, so the cheapest, what was it? Evo was like 123. The cheapest OG is 141 right now. Currently, let's look at the Bears, see what they're running at, and then we'll look at the OG Bulls and Team Bulls and such in utilities. Bears. Sorry, I was reading this damn post, getting somebody distracted. All right, so 0.06 is the floor for this. So 101, 124, and then like 141 are the floors for the 3 collections right now. Currently, keep in mind all of them are about $100 and under $200 right now currently, which is not bad at all. Let's look at the Genesis, which they retraced a little bit. So yeah, we're at 0.59 for the floor. Sheesh, that's actually that's like a fire sale shit. Is OpenSea working today or no? No, okay. Does this one work? Start refreshing. Okay, now it works. All right, Team Bull floor price is what? We got $239. So you got to think these make is the exact same math. The floor price for this is $239. The floor price for those is like $101. So it's like literally less than half the price, but it makes about the same math if you're doing the collection every day. Go back to the Genesis collection since it threw us off. All right, so we pretty much get a 0.6 floor, which is valued at $943 right now, currently right now for the OG Bulls, which this is pretty cheap, man. This is almost half of the price of what it was previously when it was at 1 Ethereum. Floor has retraced a bit from there, so we've had some sales, some compromised wallets that kind of brought it down a little bit and such. So overall, still holding its value pretty damn well, as the floor is super thin to 1 Ethereum. Just a couple to kind of drop down. People trying to get liquidity probably for the apes and a couple other things. So there's multiple reasons why people can use the liquidity. Moving it around to create more methane, which is going to be able to open more of those loot boxes, which is a big plan for a lot of different people, man. Open those loot boxes and kind of see what they can get from there. Gotta open the loot boxes and go from there. Let's go utilities. All right, so cheapest utility that you're going to get currently right now is going to be a resurrection, which is 0.07. Then you get what is it? Can't even get it out. Incubator, which is 0.2. So you can grab an incubator right now. You can grab some methane and then do your thing. Or if you want, you can get some breed replenishes, which actually they just went up just a little bit. So what is it? East is about 0.35 right now, which is the highest. 0.27 is the lowest for the replenishes right now. But you can get 3 teens out of that if you have another replenish within the same realm. So it works out a little bit. Meth machines went down just a bit. They were at about 0.4 to 0.5 range. So at a 0.36 right now for the lowest one for a West. Orbs down also on price, but it's not horrible. Let me see. I got Miles both, but not secret rare. What is the floor on the commercial bulls? He's talking about the pilot standards. Well, it's only one commercial bull. I'm dead. That one I don't know. I can look at it. The floor on the project has retraced a little bit, so I don't know. May have retraced. We'll see. 1.1 ETH right now, so I'll retrace just a little bit. So 1.1 ETH, then you get 1.5 with the evil bear, which this one's kind of hard. I like this one with the evil bear on his back. Then this one right here, I'm not gonna lie, this is another favorite. I'm not gonna lie, the rainbow kind of sets it off a little bit. So yeah, it's only 3 listed right now. It goes to 3 ETH pretty damn quick. What was I gonna do? I can't remember. All right, so we got what, 0 minutes until the space comes on, so the space should be coming on pretty damn soon. I'm gonna queue that up. In the meantime of me queuing up that space, and I'll put the chart on, and we'll be able to actually discuss what's going on, and we'll look at some floors or whatever information they're talking about. We'll try to pull up some literature for it so you guys can read and pay attention to it, or just ask some questions, man. But give me 2 seconds to get everything pulled up. I'll put the space on, and we'll rock out from there. Give me 2 seconds. All right, they're on, so let's get to it.
To this space because we are just not dealing with that purple chat bubble at the bottom right. So annoying, too many steps. I'm about working smarter, not harder. So we're going to do it that way. In the nest above our heads, we've pinned a tweet that goes directly to this space. You just have to click that and retweet that tweet. Let people know that the space is on. We're here, we're live. We did shift an hour earlier. So people might not be used to this time yet for tokenomics. So we want to make sure people know that it is on. We're here. We don't want people to show up late and then be like, "Oh my god, I missed all the good alpha. What happened?" So tag your friends, let them know. Let's get in the room. Let's hang out. It's time to have a good time. We're gonna like Tank said, we've got some really great information. We've really refocused this tokenomics because what we're doing is with the apes coming, there's so much to go through. We got to start rolling stuff out ahead of the mint on February 7th. So with each week, we are bringing you not just new alpha of releases of what's going to be happening with the apes, but also letting you know some ape tokenomic strategies. And we're talking about a little bit of basics, a little bit of the general tokenomics for the Bulls and Apes project. But we did start a Welcome Wednesday space that's on Wednesdays. We're going to do more of the deep dive, beginning kind of tokenomic strategy. So this is a bit more of an advanced tokenomic strategy. But tomorrow on Wednesday, we did start a new space that we're doing Welcome Wednesdays, where we go through a bit more of that. But this is still a great place for you to get the good alpha, get the information, learn some more stuff, and get all of that information that's coming with the apes. And yeah, I mean, I've seen over the last 24 hours, I don't know if you guys have seen these new apes, these females that have been sneak peeking coming out.
Crazy.
I mean, that
They
chick,
look amazing.
I know that
I
chick with the cigar, and she's so cool.
She badass, right? That's what I saw that, and I was like, "Holy cow!" I'm telling you, I think the Lady Apes may take this collection because the Lady Apes are amazing, and the way that they look, they're just so cool. I can't get over it. I'm so stoked for them. I can't wait to reveal my portal passes, and I'm telling you, I'm hoping that the majority of them are Lady Apes. I'm telling you, that's going to be so cool. But you talked about the basics of tokenomics, and things are going to shift tonight. So I got a cool announcement I'm going to make here shortly. But the game is afoot, and we will be definitely revising some of our strategies here. I think starting tonight. Based on some announcements, not only with what's coming with apes, but what's going on with the bulls right now. So it's going to be very very cool. Before we jump into the tokenomics, every Tuesday we've been announcing tokenized communities. So if you guys have been in our project, maybe this is the first time that you're joining this space. The Bulls Names Project has made it a goal to tokenize other communities other than ours. We have this amazing utility token called Methane. It's an ERC20 token. It's the token that's the lifeblood of our project. It's what we use to mint all of these crazy new cool NFTs within our project, the God Bulls of Teens, et cetera, that we're going to talk about in a bit. But we have brought this to other communities outside of ours. So we have a process of nomination where communities can nominate themselves, other people can nominate communities to be tokenized. We go through a review process, and in turn, we allow communities to earn methane with the NFT that they love. Yes, it's amazing if you come in and buy a BAP OG because they're going to earn much more methane than anything out there right now. But if you hold an NFT that is tokenized, then that NFT will earn methane, and it'll earn 1, 2, or 3 methane per day. It's a leveling system. So with continued participation, as long as you're coming in daily to harvest, visit our site at bullsandapesproject.com. Go onto the tokenized tab, my collection, connect your wallet, and right there, you'll get to see all of the tokenized communities. You'll see what projects in your wallet are tokenized. And just by holding them, you can harvest methane and bring it into your ecosystem, hold on to it to get ready for the apes. There's going to be many uses for it. So I'm super excited about it. And like I said, we announce 5 every Tuesday. So we have 5 new communities, right?
Yes, we do. And we absolutely do. We've got 5 new communities for the beginning of this week. We're super excited because there's some really interesting communities. There's some really cool things. And so we want to welcome the Alpacadabras, the Biopill, the Familiar, Social Bees University, and the Cyber Brokers to our community tokenization. That's right. Hopefully, if you're in the audience, maybe you saw your community get pinged earlier today when we said, hey, you guys, we're excited to announce some new communities and you're here hanging out. So, what this means is you're able to actually go in right now onto our website, connect with your wallet, and earn methane tokens, start collecting your methane token daily with the NFTs that you currently own. So, very simple process. And you also don't even have to collect your wallet. We have saved claim feature, and that's where you actually will use a intermediary wallet. You set up another wallet, connect that. You don't ever have to connect to your either cold device or your wallet that you store your valuable assets in. So, welcome, you guys. We're so excited. Yes, this community tokenization has been growing with each week. We have about 20 new communities added, and we started about 2 months ago, I think now. And it's been super fun, really amazing. I see a lot of our tokenized communities in the audience. So thanks, guys, for coming to hang out and supporting. And we have really enjoyed growing our whole Web3 family with this initiative.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I announced last week, I didn't get new numbers this week, but announced last week that a million methane tokens had been harvested through the community tokenization. So the community's getting in there and they're doing it. They're harvesting, which is really, really cool.
Mm.
Like we've
Was it a
said,
million? Wait, was it a million methane token or was it a million wallets?
no, it wasn't a million wallets. Could you imagine a million wallets? That'd be holy cow, boy, we'd be doing something, wouldn't we? No, but it's cool because we talked about this for months, how we need methane into the ecosystem. And I think that when we made our announcements last week about the cool loot boxes, the loot box strategy with the apes, what we're doing there, people started to do the math and realized, holy cow, her crypto and Tankman were right. If everybody participates, even just with the apes, there's not enough methane to open the amount of loot boxes that are going to be available. So I think people have finally realized that yes, we have use cases available, and hopefully you're getting into the apes themselves, so that way you can participate that way. But we have other cool things coming. We've announced Weird Worlds, which is our metaverse play. That is a long play down the road, and we delayed it for 90 days just to make sure that we could allow communities to get in and start tokenizing and earning, because we had heard that things were happening a little fast. So we agreed and decided to delay just slightly the minting, the rolling mint of that. But it's super cool because we're now seeing these communities get in and participate, collect, hold. Some communities are finding their own uses for methane, which, it being an ERC20 token, is totally up to them, because it's on the blockchain. So I'm really excited about tokenized communities, and it's definitely bringing value, and it's really creating that cross pollination, which is what we've always talked about in the Web3 space. Bringing communities together, they're getting to see these other cool projects. They're, like tonight, I researched these with you, but I'm going to take a deeper dive on these projects. They're super cool, and I want to learn more about them. So I love that aspect of what we're doing with community tokenization, that it's highlighting and bringing attention to projects throughout the Web3 space, especially in this bear market. So really cool. But we got to go into tokenomics. What do you think?
Yes, yeah, let's go into tokenomics. And speaking of, because what I was going to say, the tokenomics and the token, and we say, a few people are, we've seen people like, oh my gosh, all these people coming in, and you just mentioned we have a million token that has been being harvested over the time. People get a little bit like, oh my gosh, like, are we going to run out? We have 550 million methane token in our like that we put in our contract, right? 550.
Yeah, 558. So they're separated, and we're actually going to talk about that tonight: holding rewards and our treasury, and how they're distributed through the contracts. We'll talk about that a little bit, but yeah, even with our tokenomics, the way it's going in the progress, it's 3 years, around 3 years, to get all the tokens into the economy. Keep in mind that that's just to bring the tokens into the economy. With what we're doing with the tokenomics, the loot boxes, how things have been happening with the minting of the teens and the gods, there's a recirculation. So it's a true economy. It's not. We don't burn all of the methane when you use it. It's recirculated back into the economy, and that's exactly what we're doing. Is we're creating our own little mini economy here, so that way people can realize the value of meth however they want, use it to play the game, mint some really cool NFTs, other cool utilities, and then decide how they want to use their strategy to work with those cool new utilities and NFTs. And we've had a lot of them in the bulls, and we're going to even have more in the apes. So I'm really excited for what we're creating. I think we're doing something really unique here. I've seen other projects do it, and they've been successful, but we're really pushing the limits of what's possible, and even thinking about what's not possible and then making it possible. And that's what's been really cool about things.
Exactly. I love it. All the possibilities. It's just so much possibility with the possible. So, but like you said, the tokenomics, let's jump into it. We said we aren't going to deep dive into the very beginning and go through everything because we did start the Wednesday welcome Wednesdays. But we will cover some basics. So, let's talk a little bit about the basics of our tokenomics and our ecosystem and what we have driving and why people are collecting this methane token and harvesting it each day.
Yeah, well, I think, and I said earlier when we started that I was going to provide some information that's going to change strategies, and this is definitely going to change strategies. So first, let me break down the basics. Bulls and Apes Project is a 10,000 collection NFT. The bulls themselves, they're our OG collection. The bulls from the initiation or the from the start of our project, we're earning 10 methane tokens per day. And that's for doing nothing but holding the bull in your wallet. There's no staking required. There's no extra process. You hold it in your wallet. You go to our website, click on, like I said, the link on bullsandapesproject.com on the drop down for my collection. You go there, you do your claiming, your harvesting, etc. Through that gamification, we minted additional NFTs. We minted God Bulls and we minted Teen Bulls, and that was all the free mint other than the time that it took for you to harvest and collect the methane, and then the gas fees that you had to pay to make these transactions on the blockchain. So it's been super fun. God Bulls, I just saw, which is crazy, a God Bull yesterday sold for 7 ETH. 7 ETH it sold for yesterday. I think that's the highest price God Bull we've sold so far. And that God Bull was earned for free. A holder played the game, went through the tokenomics, and earned it for free. So I think that that's really, really amazing that our holders are finding value in these NFTs that they're minting and creating. God Bulls minted out over 2 months ago, so they're no longer available to mint through the gamification. And then we had teens, and teens was also part of it. We have a total of 12,450 teens that were available in the collection. There's some deflationary process that go on. When we're all said and done, we'll have 9,000 remaining. And through the process of getting teens, you had to mint these incubators that then got you the teens. Well, the announcement that I'm making today is that the incubators minted out about 3 hours ago. So there is no more incubators to mint out. So what that process was is when you had an OG bull that had breedings, you could take those breedings and create this incubator to then mint a teen. So incubators are gone. The OG bulls can no longer create those incubators. There are still about 380, I think, incubators out there floating around that have not been turned into teens yet. So there's a possibility to purchase those on secondary because the incubators are NFTs, just like all of the other utilities in our collection. So if you pick up an incubator on the floor, you would need 600 more methane tokens. So if you're a tokenized community and you've earned some methane and you're thinking, man, I want to see what kind of teens are left in the collection to be minted, that could be a way of getting a teen other than buying it on the floor right now. So that's still part of the game, but I suspect that now that the incubators are minted out, that the teens are going to go quick. And the reason I suspect this, and I'm going to let you guys know, is that there are a handful more incubators than there are teens. There's about 50 more. We hold those in our treasury wallet. So we want to ensure that the teens get minted out. So I want to make sure that anybody that has an incubator that's listening doesn't think that, oh, I've got an incubator, I'm guaranteed a teen as long as I hold on to this. Nah, you're not. We want to make sure our collection gets minted out. So we'll be paying attention to the contract. We'll be paying attention to wallets that hold incubators. If we see a dead wallet that hasn't been touched in months with no activity, then we may consider that as an incubator that will not get minted into a teen, and we may then mint from our stash that we have in our treasury. We will not do that though, because we want everybody to be able to participate and everybody that has an incubator to be able to get their teens. But we've got to make sure that nothing gets lost in the mix, because we ultimately need to make sure that our teen collection gets minted. We have a full minted collection. We want to have that lovely blue check mark on OpenSea. And the only way that's going to happen is to get these things minted. So just want to make sure anybody that's holding it, I have incubators myself in my wallet, and I will be minting my teens out as soon as I get enough methane collected because I'm terrible at saving. So I was able to
Yeah,
get in
you
under
spent it
fire.
all already.
I know it's crazy. So I know that we're gonna do a cursory on this, but I just want to talk about strategy. So my strategy for a while had been to collect, teens. That's what I want to do. So I've been spinning methane, even though I've been saying to everybody, save your methane because we have stuff coming. My strategy was teens. Well, I hit my max because all my OGs had been bred out. And this morning I opened my wallet. I had forgotten to claim or harvest last night again. So I harvested this morning or this afternoon, late morning. I opened my wallet and I saw that two of my God Bulls, because I have a couple God Bulls, had their full energy and I forgot about it. So I looked at it and realized, oh my gosh, I don't have enough methane to open these God boxes, because when you open the God boxes, you get one opening for 600 meth and then you get a secondary for 1200 meth. And I thought, man, if I could open these God boxes, this is 4 opportunities, maybe I'll get some replenishments and I could get a couple incubators, because we still had about 50 incubators left. So the cool thing about our methane token, like I said earlier, it's on the blockchain, right? It's an ERC20 token. So there's multiple different resources to be able to sell and trade methane. There is in our Discord, we have the trading corner. So if you own a BAP or BOTB asset, you can come onto our Discord, go into trading corner. There's people doing swaps in there all the time with different utilities and methane. There is a Twitter DM page set up called the Meth Corner, which is really funny, and they're doing trades there. There's a couple community members that started a P2P platform where they're trading and swapping Ethereum on their platform. That's a community driven initiative that has nothing to do with our project. And then there's also a liquidity pool that's been set up by another group of community members, and they're being traded there. So there was lots of resources, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to tap into my resources. So I did. I tapped into my resources, acquired some methane, brought it in my wallet, went in, opened my God boxes, and lo and behold, I got the 2 replenishments I needed and was able to get in under the wire and pick up 3 more incubators. So, yeah, that was my strategy today. I thought I was done, but through the gamification, strategies change. I shifted my ideas of what I thought I wanted and kind of looked at values and what the cost of methane was versus what I would get at the end, and made the call thinking that through. So I love how even me having my set strategy, I was able to pivot at the last minute and do something a little different, and play the game differently than probably I've been playing it so far. So I just want to bring that up. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, I know this is something you just gave that full explanation through, and it was very detailed and great. But I think I don't know if anyone else in the audience is like still sitting with this, but the incubators have minted out. Like we're this is just really like monumental. This is another moment of BAP like history. Like, all right, we minted out the incubators, and that means now we're gonna mint out our teens. And I'm curious to see how it goes. Like you said, of course, we think it'll go quickly, and we are gonna watch. We're not gonna let it drag out for months and months and months, but we also aren't gonna mint right away. So there's gonna be an interesting dynamic here, and I think there might be some more information coming that will also affect this as well.
Yeah, it could. So yeah, it's fun, but I'm anxious. It's cool because it wasn't timed like this, but to see that we're literally wrapping up the teens about 2.5 weeks before we get ready to mint the apes, and now take the next step and stage into the next part of our gamification is really cool. It wasn't planned that way. I mean, we actually thought that the teams were going to mint out sooner. People were guessing around the 10th of January,
Hmm.
etc. The teams haven't minted out; just the incubators have. So the teams are still available. So we
And
could,
the sorry, I was just gonna
yeah,
say, and there are still really cool teens to mint because there's I think a couple sacrificers left still. Not
no
to mention any what?
sacrifices have been minted, but you're right.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, they have been, but if you look at valuation, sure, the teens are 0.15, which is crazy cool as well, considering it's a free mint, right? That the teens have been holding really strong, but that's a floor teen. There's been some cool teens minted. I mean, Nioe lucked out. Holy cow! Last week he had got himself replenishment through his God box and got it. And the community was talking about it. I saw a couple DMs and some chats in the community. He minted this crazy, insane gold body, gold horn, gold astronaut. So there's still some amazing, amazing teams to be minted. There's over 300 left. I guarantee you there's going to be some cool ones in there.
I know. And speaking of, speaking of different ways and different strategies, that's why I've been kind of stacking meth. I did get a replenishment. I did mint another teen, a couple teens, but I also have been stacking methane tokens. So, if you guys want to hit me up in the trading corner, how much methane token will you take for an incubator? Like, just curious. Like, not just curious, like not asking for a friend, but um, like this is.
Take advantage of the game, man, and that's what's cool is everybody plays their own game their own way. People have been trading methane for the utilities. They've been selling methane on the on these other all these multiple different resources that they have to sell. They've been buying it. They've been. I saw people that are trading teens for OGs. I'm taking an OG and saying, "Hey, I'll trade some teens for them." Ah, man, our community is getting so creative um, with what they're doing. But I'll tell you one thing that I think they're missing is I looked at the OG floor today and holy cow, there are some opportunities. And the main opportunity, we're going to talk about it in a second, but our tiers for minting the apes right now with tier 1 is already closed because that's for people that had an OG before December 29th. Tier 2 is anybody that buys an OG bull all the way up until the 5th. And there's some great deals though. If somebody is looking at thinking, man, I really wish I could get into this ape thing, and we're going to talk about those tiers right now. If you go pick up an OG bull on the floor, you are automatically on tier 2, and I'll guarantee you we're going to make it to tier 2. I hate to say guarantee. Let me rephrase that. I fully believe we're going to make it to tier 2, and I'll explain that in a second. Which is going to give you an opportunity to get your 2 apes that you want to mint. And when we talk about the dynamic PFP and how the game is played with the apes, I would be surprised if people aren't like, holy cow, how do I get this? Sure, you could buy them on secondary, but if you want to get in a bull and get your opportunity to get on that list, and you're going to need the bull anyway, because that's your best way to get your most methane, it's a
Yep.
win-win. There's some crazy deals on there.
Yeah, and speaking of the mint out of the incubators, so what this means is if you do have bulls with breedings and you go in, the breed you'll see the breed button there, but it's grayed out. You can't use it. So you'll see it, but you can't click it. It's not going to light up for you. Sorry.
Yep. And it won't disappear either. We're going to leave it on there.
Yeah, you never know what could happen down the road. Like I said, I had the replenishment, I did some breeding, and I think I might have a couple that are still one or two.
Right.
And of course, I know I'm not the only one sitting here wondering, like, well, what am I going to do with this guy with the one or twoers? And of course, who knows? Like, you never know. You
Yeah.
never know what we're going to come up with.
You never know, and the fact that we're not pulling that button down off of our UX UI on the website itself, you never know. So that's
Hmm.
all. That's all we can say right now about that. But let's move on. I want to talk
So,
about the with 30
yes,
minutes. Think it's super
apes.
reset. Want to reset?
Reset? Yeah, we can reset. Okay, everybody, listen. It's the good time. It's the alpha for the apes. This is when we are getting really excited. So, yes, we just got some really amazing news. The incubators that create our teens, those incubators, they did mint out. Teens, not minted out yet, probably coming soon. But now we're getting into the ape dynamic PFP, the information, the ape alpha. We really want to know. So people, please retweet the room. We've got it pinned up in the nest. That's the area above our floating heads. It's the tweet directly to the space. You don't have to worry about going to the bottom right chat bubble. Click, click, click. Just one click, retweet, and you're good. Tag some friends. Let them know. Hey, do you have an incubator in your wallet? Let's start trying to find these people with these incubators, huh? Let them start minting some teens because yeah, we don't want them to just sit out there, these poor little teens, and just waiting to come to life and come hang out. Because
I'm,
the apes are coming.
I'm going to be watching because I want to hurry up and get my mints in because, like I said, I saw Neo mint that, and I'm like, oh man, how did I miss that? I am going to be bummed if I'm waiting. I'll tell you, it's probably not a good idea to think I want the last one ever minted because if you wait, it may not be the best one. So maybe you want to get in there and mint now. I'm not saying that because I don't know what it is, but I don't think waiting is a strategy at this point. If you've got an incubator and you got the methane, get that bad boy minted out. Let's get this collection completed. Because keep in mind, the quicker we get a blue chip, you never know where the project's going to go from there as far as their values, right?
Right, and just a real quick shout out Husker fan. He said 5K methane token for an incubator. So there's a market value set.
Wow, 5K. Holy cow.
Whew, that's some high dollars. That's some high methane token.
Premium. All right, so let's go into the ape the apes. We made some big announcements last excuse me last Tuesday, and I am super excited about the apes. First thing I want to talk about is the apes being dynamic. I mentioned this last week. We're going to say that word a lot when it comes to the ape project. Dynamic is the word. Dynamic is what we're doing, and dynamic is what explains everything that happens with the apes gamification. It is a dynamic PFP. Okay, what's a dynamic PFP mean? Well, hopefully you guys have seen that video that we have circulating that shows this really cool graphic of how the traits are changing on the ape. It's exactly what a dynamic PFP is. Our apes, we have 5,000 males and 5,000 females, so 10,000 collection. Their entire traits, all of their traits will be interchangeable. So you're saying, all right, Gary, I've seen other collections that, yeah, you can change out hats and maybe you can change out some clothes. That's kind of cool. Same thing, right? Nope, completely different. We are literally changing everything about the ape. So our apes have 20, can have up to 20 separate traits. Let me repeat that. Our apes can have up to 20 separate traits. Three of those traits are immutable. Those three are the guild, because our project is divided into guilds, north, south, east, and west, and that is going to come into play later on. But the guild is interchangeable, so once it's minted with the guild, it's always going to stay as a guild. The gender is not changeable, male or female, that's it. And we have a unique BAP token ID number that is actually going to be listed as a trait. The reason we do this is because every time you change your ape, and you make that transaction on the blockchain to create that new NFT, it's going to generate a new token ID. So we're going to have unlimited token IDs with this project. It's going to be thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. So what we're doing is we're creating a token ID that is going to be the same as the token ID when it's minted. So if you're on mint day and you get your ape and your ape is number 100, that BAP ID number that's now going to be a trait will be number 100. So you'll be able to track that ape forever in its lifetime, even though the token ID is going to change. So that's going to be an immutable trait as well. Other than that, that leaves 17 traits. And yes, 17 traits are all changeable on your ape. Now, you have to have a minimum, besides these three immutables, you have to have a minimum of three traits consistently. And those are body color, could be fur or skin color, facial expression, and eyes. Those have to be consistent, right? And skin tone. Sorry, there's four. And skin tone. Those have to be consistent. Other than that, everything else can change. You could have that. That would be considered a naked ape if that's all it had was those four items. But other than that, you could be adding things, and it can be up to 17 traits. So you could have hats, you could have scarves, you could have, I mean, think about it. Earrings, anything and everything that could be a trait can be added and subtracted from that ape. Now, I was on the Alpha Bull show earlier today, and we were talking about this a little bit, and I gave an example because they couldn't wrap their mind around how the heck are you going to get 17 traits on an ape? Well, if you look at our collection, our bulls, some of our traits have combined things. So, as an example, you may have an expression that has a cigarette or an earring or something like that, and that is part of that same trait. So when you get that expression, you're getting a certain thing. So what we're doing is we're separating all those. So you could have an earring as separate. You could have an expression as a separate. You could have a cigarette or cigar. You could have an arm cuff on the arm. I think we've seen that in a couple of the sneak peeks. You could have a back weapon. So we have some that have back weapons, but we also have front weapons. There's a possibility you could have a back and a front weapon. So we don't have that in the bull collection, right? But you could customize that if you wanted. We will put blockers in to keep from having conflicts. As an example, you see some of us have like a weapon or a sword in the front, and there's also a surfboard or a skateboard. Well, you won't be able to put those both in the front because there'll be conflict. So you'll have to pick one or the other. But all of those other combinations are combinations that you get to decide. It's dynamic. It fits your personality. What are you feeling that day? What do you want to make? How do you want to create your ape to best fit your personality and what you want? So that's what the dynamic is going to be, and that's what's going to be super cool about it. I want to mention that when we did our pre-mint, which was just was it her crypto been 2 weeks or a week?
Uh, 2 2 weeks.
Has it been two
Time
weeks? Some
time
at least
in Web3 is like a just total anomaly, okay? I don't know. I haven't slept in so long. I just
I know,
like
crazy.
I
Oh
think
man.
it was 2 weeks. I think it's been 2 weeks because it wasn't last week
So
Tuesday. It
much.
was yeah.
So I want to bring this up because I think it's important. So we did our pre-mint 2 weeks ago. Well, it'll be 2 weeks, I think, on Thursday. And the pre-mint we had set a goal of 1,500. We wanted to mint 1,500. If we could mint 1,500, we were going to be totally stoked. We set a threshold, a buffer at 5,000 to make sure that we didn't have any runaways. If something happened with bots, we didn't want to, we didn't want to have a runaway contract. So we had to at least set a limit. So we set a pretty high limit. We sold out 1,596 seconds or 75 seconds. It was seconds, not minutes, minute and a half. 1,500. We sold out 5,034 minutes of our pre-mint. So we're real super excited about the upcoming 8 mint, which is going to be on February 7th. Now, the 8 mint, yes, we have 5,000 left in our contract, in the contract itself for the project, but we're going to be holding back 1,500. That's going to go into our treasury. We have a very large team. So, of course, like most projects, we award our team with mints. So that's a great way for our team to participate. We have close to 50 employees, so our team will get to participate with that. And then we're going to keep a fair amount for marketing. We want to utilize this amazing new PFP for marketing, getting the word out, what we're doing, and what the project is and how it's growing. So we're going to have a fair amount set aside for marketing that we're going to be able to use in the future. So that's going to leave 3,500. That's it, 3,500 apes. And with those 3,500 apes, it's going to be important to get on the allow list. And I'm going to go over that here in a second. But I just want to bring that up that there'll be 3,500. So I was talking about the apes as far as the multiple traits that they have and the fact that they're dynamic, right? So you can trade traits and stuff. So we start thinking about that. The first thing I started doing was started thinking about strategy. Okay, how do I want to play the game? Because we're not creating a project that's linear that says, oh, you start here and your finish point is over there and everybody's going to make the same steps along the way. Our bulls, as you've seen, I just mentioned it earlier about how I changed my strategy. We want the community to design their own strategy. We want the community to come up with what they think is the best way for them to play the game. And we did that with the bulls. We're doing that even more with the apes. There's going to be so many more options and opportunities for the apes and how we can play the game. So I had to start getting my mind wrapped around, okay, how could I best explain some strategies around the apes and how to play the apes? So I came up with what I call three avatars. So this would be three people. Now, this is not only three people, it's just the three that I came up with. Three people that could potentially be playing the game. And these are the three. So the first one is what I call a collector. I think that defines me pretty well. I'm a diehard collector, diamond hander. I've sold. Actually, I told you last week I've only sold ever 2 NFTs. That's now gone up to 4 because I sold 2 extra replenishments that I had today that I couldn't use anymore once we minted out. Even though I know that they're important, I figured I'll sell them. I'm going to try this because I've only done it twice, so I did it 2 more times today. It's pretty cool. But other than that, I'm a diehard diamond hander collector. That's me. I collect them and let them sit in my wallet. I have the very first NFT I ever bought is still in my wallet. BOTB, Bulls on the Block. It's awesome bull. I love it. And that's me. So I think I'm the collector, and that's the people that are gonna, get the apes, and then maybe they're gonna continue to mint their traits, and they're just gonna collect the traits. Maybe they'll end up with 200, 300 traits in their wallet. Have all these really cool options that they can outfit their traits. So that's the collector. Then I started thinking about the what I call the art director. I know, and I used this example last week, that I know that most of us that have minted a project, minted, not bought on secondary, but minted, when you mint it and you're waiting for that reveal, and then you get that reveal and you look at it and you're like, oh, yeah, okay, that's cool. But man, if I could do something different, I would have done this, or I wished it looked kind of like this instead, or I wish it looked that way. Well, I consider that the art director, right? That's the person that's directing the artist how to create an NFT. Well, you get to do that. You get to be the art director. So maybe your strategy is to take one of your apes and you collect the best traits, you put it together the way you want to put it together, and then you represent it as your PFP, or maybe you put it together to sell it as now an NFT that's outfitted with all this amazing traits that you've designed. So that's the art director. So we may have many art directors in the room and people that are thinking, you know what? I've always wanted to be able to create my own NFT and make it the way I want to make it. So that would be the art director. Now, the last one I think is going to be the one that's going to be really cool. And I can't wait to see how many people play this. And this person, this avatar is who I call the trait dealer. So just like people are doing right now with methane, they're acquiring this methane and they're deciding what they want to do with it. Maybe they're going to sell it on secondary. Maybe they're going to hold it. People that have been playing the game and minting incubators, you can see incubators for sale. Today, I had a couple extra replenishments. I sold those because I figured I wanted to get the Ethereum out of them because I want to use it for strategies I'm going to use in the future here for the apes. So different strategies, different ways, and I think the trait dealer is going to be really fun because if you've got some apes and maybe your idea is that I'm just going to open up these common loot boxes and these epics and legendaries, and then I'm going to take these traits and I'm just going to sell them. That's gonna be my gig, right? I'm going to collect the traits and then I'm going to sell them on secondary and let other people that maybe are looking for something specific to be the collector, or maybe an art director is looking for that special trait that they haven't been able to get out of the loot box, so they're going to go to secondary to go find it so they can put together their masterpiece. So the trait dealer is going to be super fun. Can't wait to see how there's those strategies. Now, this may not be all the strategies, but I think that our collection is really going to boil down to these three types of people and how each of those people are going to play the game, and then how they're going to use those strategies with how they're generating methane, what boxes are going to open up. They're going to look to see what valuations are, and it's going to be just super fun to see how that all works. So, anything you want to add to that? I've been talking here for like the last 20 minutes.
No, yeah, I just think, like you said, there's a lot of information that we're giving out, and I'm kind of fielding some stuff in the Discord because, if you guys are not, if you're not aware, we have this amazing feature. It's our alpha alerts, and that is, yes, an email alert. And I know, you might be groaning because you're like, I don't need any more emails, coming into my inbox, but you want these emails because people on this list got alerted quite a few minutes ago, probably about 20 plus minutes ago, with everything we're announcing tonight. So, if you have not signed up for the alpha alerts, we're going to pin that up here in the nest right now. That's the area above our heads. So that way you can make sure you don't miss the next big alpha drop because they are the first that gets notified of everything that we are announcing. And so, yeah, I have just been kind of fielding some questions, fielding some things happening about, wait, what? What's this? What's that? And they're kind of ahead of the schedule for what we're talking about here. um, but yes, super excited. Like you said, the dynamic traits and the dynamic PFP feature, I love. And it's funny because you call him the art director, I call it the trendsetter, the person who's designing the different traits or apes with their traits. And
Right.
I just, in my mind, I feel like there's a possibility where someone can get really good at designing these apes and then you sell that total ape at a different, like higher price point, and maybe you become known as like this is was done by, whoever, like they designed this ape. Like, I mean, you never know. Like,
Yeah, almost like you're putting your signature on it. Ooh, how cool would that be? No, but I think you made a really good point here because I'm going to bring something you set up. So I talked about the trait dealer and taking these traits and selling these traits individually. Well, if somebody takes an outfit, an ape with 17 traits, how does that value land, right? Is it it's the sum of all parts. So if you've got all these really cool traits on there and there's a certain established value based on traits being sold, how does that cross over into interpreting what that ape value is? And that's what's really cool about this is people are gonna our holders, our community is going to determine these numbers. And what's also really cool is if you buy an ape with all of these NFTs on it, you can de-equip it. So just because you buy an ape with traits and it comes into your wallet, now it's in your wallet, you have the ability to de-equip it. So if you see an ape out there that's like, man, I've been looking for this gold hat and nobody is selling it, but that ape over there has it and they're selling that ape with a gold hat on it, I could buy that ape, bring it into my wallet, pull that gold hat off and use it what I want, de-equip that ape, do something different with it. I mean, it is going to change the game completely with NFTs on how you're buying these NFTs and then changing them again once somebody else has changed them. So it's going to be really really crazy to see, and I'm excited to see how this whole dynamic works. Really really fun. But I want to get into the allow list because right now, hopefully people are listening. They're thinking, okay, I'm game. I'm in. Show me where to sign up. and most people are looking for allow list, right? They're looking for their place to put their name on an allow list, so they get an opportunity to mint this thing that we're minting. And some people may be thinking, well, holy cow, how big is their allow list? If they've got 20,000 people on an allow list and there's only 3,500 left to mint, 2 per wallet is our limit. There's not going to be any chance I'm going to be able to get in there. Well, what we've done is we've set up a structure, an allow list tier structure that enables you to make a decision about how you want to position yourself to get an ape. Another dynamic feature in what we're doing with the bulls and apes. So everything's dynamic, and this is dynamic. This puts the control in your hands. So let me break down how this allow list structure works. So I mentioned earlier what we call tier one is our first tier. So we minted out, everybody got an opportunity, but we told all of our OG holders from the very beginning that when it came to the apes, we were going to make sure that we took care of them. So we took a snapshot on December 29th of all of the current OG bull holders. And those holders are automatically registered. Those wallets are automatically registered on tier one. Now, I know the question is going to be, hey, I don't want to mint from this wallet because that's my cold storage. Well, guess what? We have this amazing feature called Safe Claim that allows you to create a sister wallet. Her Crypto mentioned it earlier in the show. That sister wallet is going to be acceptable for minting your apes. So if you were snapshotted and your snapshot address is a wallet address that you don't want to mint into, because we talk about that all the time, you're more than welcome to set up that safe claim, create your sister wallet, and you'll be able to mint from that sister wallet. So that's going to be super cool for our community. But yes, all of the OG holders pre December 29th are on tier one, and you automatically get it. But let's do some math. We had in December about 1,460 holders. A lot of those holders are not active, right? So, and we're not expecting it. And a lot of holders minted in the pre-mint. So it's possible we could sell out in tier one, but I doubt that we will. And that's what I said earlier, that I didn't want to guarantee, but I doubt that we're going to sell out in tier one, which means that we're going to move into tier two. So let's say we have 500 holders that come in and mint their maximum on tier one. I'm just throwing that number out. I have no reason for it, but I'm just throwing it out there. 1,000 NFTs subtracted from our 3,500 allocation that we're putting up for our mint. That means 2,500 now are going to flow down to tier two. Now, tier two is where it's going to get interesting. So tier two is the tier that if you purchased an OG between December 29th all the way up until February 5th, purchase an OG off the floor, it has to be purchased on secondary. You cannot move it from wallet to wallet. So you can't say, "Ooh, I've got some OGs in my wallet. I'm just going to move them to a fresh wallet and get on the allot list." Nope. We're going to be looking at those. We're going to be looking at sales. So we have a system in place to already do this. And we're also going to be looking for fishy or questionable sales. You know, if the OGs are selling for 0.6 right now on the floor and we see a 0.2 sale from one wallet to another, you know what? That's a wallet that we will throw out. So it's got to be a legitimate sale on secondary on OpenSea. Then you automatically get onto that tier two allow list. I see some awesome deals right now, you guys. I mean, it's people are playing the game, right? They're getting liquidity for whatever reason, which is perfectly respectable. I mean, I don't question anybody that needs to do what they need to do, but what that does is it opens up opportunity. And right now there's opportunity that if you're thinking, how could I get in tier one so I can make sure to get one of these? Because trust me, when these mint out, I will bet that they're not going to stay at a mint price for very long once people start seeing how the game is played and how dynamic they are. You guys have already seen the art. The art is insane. So that's going to be your best opportunity to position yourself to get into the apes, is to get on that tier two. Now, tier two is going to be at 0.27. Tier one is 0.22. Now we have tier three. So you asked me, okay, Gary, I don't necessarily want to buy an OG. Be great if you did, but I think that maybe some will filter down to tier three. Now, that's possible. Tier three is acquiring one of our other assets. We have Teen Bulls currently for sale, so you can pick up a Teen Bull. This is not a minted Teen Bull. You have to buy it on secondary, so you pick up a Teen Bull on secondary. Or you pick up one of the BOTB Bulls on the Block assets, and that was the OG Bulls, the Evo Bulls, or one of the Bears. You do that, your email gets, or sorry, let me say it again, your wallet then goes on that allow list. Same thing applies. If you don't want to mint from your wallet, you can do safe claim, but that's how you're going to get on tier three. Now, we do have tier four. Tier four is tokenized communities. By the way, tier three is a 0.30, so you can see we're getting a little more expensive. Tier four is tokenized communities, so every single one of our communities that's been tokenized, your wallets will be on that tier four list on that January or February 5th snapshot. So if you happen to be one of those tokenized communities and you think by chance it's going to get to tier 4, well, then you'll have an opportunity to buy at that point as well at a 0.33. And then we go to our general allow list, which some people are just signing up for our allow list on email on our website. And they're like, you know what, I'll just wait to tier 5. If it gets down here, I don't own any of these assets, I'm just going to roll the dice. Then you'll be able to get that at 0.33 as well. And then we go to public. Now, every single tier, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, all have a 2 mint limit if by chance we get to public. And I am not expecting that we will. But for whatever reason, if we do, then it's open mint and it's unlimited. So if we happen to make it there, I definitely don't expect it to last very long. But that's our allow list. If there's any questions on it, Her Crypto, are you seeing any questions in Discord on the allow list? Anything that I need to answer before we move on to some tokenomics?
No, I don't see anything on the allow list. But like you said, the number one best way, your best chance, if you did not get in the pre-mint that we had, that was a amazing fun time, and lots of people secured their ape. If you did not get in on the snapshot, so you were an OG holder when we took the snapshot at the end of December, your best bet to guarantee, well, not guarantee, your best bet to potentially get one of our apes, because yes, there's only going to be 5,000 remaining,
Well,
and it's
35.
3,500, right? Because the
35.
1,500, yeah.
Yeah.
Then you got to buy an OG bull and get in the next snapshot that we will be taking. So, yeah,
Yep. And
yeah.
opportunity right now. I'm even looking at the floor thinking maybe I should pick up a couple off the floor myself. I'm like, man, maybe I want to do that because I'm telling you, we have lots to announce. And yes, people are looking at what they're doing and their strategies, and maybe they're shifting a little bit. But deals on the floor right now for OGs. I want to be in a position to have OGs come soon. So that's definitely something I'm looking at myself.
Yeah. So the only, just really quick before we move into the well, actually, I no, let's go, because the thing is about the tokenomics, and let's roll, because what I was gonna say, I see a few questions. We're gonna talk about it more here in the tokenomics section. So let's roll and start talking about the ape tokenomics. So we talked about the apes being multipliers. We talked about how they're going to increase your daily methane production with your OG bulls and how that's gonna work. So we're gonna get into those details and more information on, we've got some alpha to drop for you. Like I said, if you signed up for the alpha alerts, if you're on that list, which we've pinned up there in the nest, if you go above our heads, you can go ahead and sign up so you don't miss the next alpha alert, because each Tuesday, every Tuesday, we are releasing new information for the apes. That's right. It's Tankonomics Tuesday. And I don't think we can rebrand it, but we're going to just temporarily say Tankonomics and Alpha, because yes, we're going to always be dropping alpha, and it's going to be specifically ape alpha. So you want to make sure that you are signed up and subscribed to get the alpha alerts, because lots of people got the email. They all knew before everything we were announcing tonight. So you can go ahead and do that in the nest, pinned in the area above our heads. Let's roll in to the ape tokenomics, these multipliers. So these apes come, they help. If you haven't seen the lore, there's a whole story behind this, and it's really great. It's amazing, and it will give you more ideas of how this is working, and explain the tech, or explain the meaning behind when we talk about multiplying and all that. Because the reason that the apes are multipliers to the bulls is because in the lore, the apes invaded, they fought with the bulls, and then there was a fraction, a fa- a frac not a fraction, a faction. There was
A
a
fact,
faction, yeah, of
yeah,
it's the same, correct. It is a fraction, but it's also a faction of
right.
apes who actually aligned with the bulls and joined the bulls and fought against the evil vile of the apes. So
Evil
they
style.
work together. Yeah. So they work together. So they're multiplying. So what have we got, Tank? What's going on?
Yeah, so the tokenomics are going to be fun. Now, I want to reiterate this again, and I think I mentioned it at the beginning of the show. I definitely mentioned it last Tuesday. I'm going to go over what we talked about last Tuesday. Then I'm going to announce some more things today, but this is just a portion of it. There's so many things that we're doing with the dynamic PFP, with the tokenomics, that I don't want to flood the space with everything that we're doing. So we're going to take it in steps, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go over what we did last week, the new stuff that we're announcing this week, and then we're going to have new stuff every week moving forward into the apes. So that way you guys will get a feel for how complex but fun that this project is going to be. So multiplier specifics, and that's what the apes are doing. So like our crypto said, part of this is the symbiotic relationship, as we've called it for months, between the bulls and the apes. And the apes are actually generating or producing or affecting the OG bulls to produce 100% of what they produce normally. So I want to make a clarification here. As I said earlier, OG bulls from the very beginning earn 10 methane tokens per day. Those OG bulls from the start were OG bulls that had 3 breeds. I want to make this clear because I don't think I made it clear last week, so I'm going to kind of clean some stuff up this week with this statement about your breeds. So an OG bull that has 3 breeds will be able to double its methane production from 10 methane to 20 methane, and you're going to get double that. And you pair an ape with that OG bull. So when it gets in your wallet, you'll have to take the function of actually pairing it with your OG bull. When you pair it, you're saying, I want these two to be connected. And when they're connected, that OG bull is then going to generate 20 methane tokens per day versus the 10. Now, something to keep in mind. The OG bull is the only NFT in our collection, other than a teen that's resurrected, but I'm going to leave that out for right now. But the OG bull is the only one that collects and earns methane, and it's compounding, and that's important. It will collect its methane at 20 per day, and you don't have to go in there every day. You can go in there once a week. Once a week is important for another reason, and then claim your methane and then use it. All of our other collections, whether it be our teens, BOTB, or our tokenized communities, have to come in and harvest every day. You've got to participate every day. You level up. You get to a certain level. If you miss a day, you drop a level. So there's required participation. The OGs don't have that. You can set it and forget it. Put it in your wallet, pair it up with an ape. It'll collect for as long as you want. You go in there and get it, and you'll have all your beautiful meth sitting there. So that's another really good benefit of why you should have an OG bull that's paired with one of your apes, because of the increased meth generation, but the ease, the fact that you don't have to be worrying about it every day. So that's super cool. Now, we have what's called a zero breed bull. And we have bulls that have maybe only 1 or 2 breeds in them. And that is because they've gone through the process of minting incubators to create these teens in our gamification, which earlier we mentioned are no longer mintable because we minted those out today. So we have a number of these OG bulls out there that have fractional breedings or are zero breeds. Now the zero breeds earn 15 methane, so that's really cool. But in order for that bull to be qualifying, or the fractional bred bulls to be qualifying, they need to have 3 breeds. So you're going to utilize a replenishment that is available through the God tokenomics. So the gods are actually creating tokenomics. They're actually minting these really cool NFTs through part of their gamification. And one of those NFTs is a replenishment, which allows you to bring your bull back up to 3 breeds. So that's going to be super important. And those are available on secondary. You can see them if you don't have a god bull. And this will help you bring that bull into its 3 breeds to be able to then pair it with an ape. So that's really cool. But you just make a decision. Do you want to make 20 with a bull, an ape, or do you want to earn it 15 if it's a zero breed? And then you can make that decision what's best for you and your strategy. All right, so the God Bulls are not affected by the multiplier. We had that question last week. So the God Bulls do not get multiplied, and neither do the resurrected teens do not get multiplied either. So that's the multiplication that we talked about last week. Like I said, I'm going to go over what we talked about last week, and that's super important. Just doing a recap here. So now let's talk about the traits. I had mentioned that these traits that the apes come with are interchangeable. They're dynamic. You can pull them off and put them on. That's cool. So everybody's thinking, great. So I get an ape, I get to pull some off, sell it, sell those traits. Well, what about new traits? It's a great question. So we're doing what's called loot boxes. And our loot boxes are part of our gamification. We have 3 levels of loot boxes. We have a common loot box, an epic loot box, and a legendary loot box. Now, the common loot box is opened utilizing methane, and the starting price is 600 meth. The epic loot box is at a 0.10 Ethereum, and the legendary is at a 0.25 Ethereum. Now, you could probably assume, and this is correct, that if you look at our collection, we have some rare traits. We have gold skins, we have gold horns, we have gold accessories, we have some ruby skins that are super rare, we have poker skins that are rare. So we've got certain traits that are rare in our collection. Those rare traits that are consistent with our bulls and new ones that we're introducing are going to be in the higher tiered loot boxes in the 10 0.10 and 0.25, the epic and legendary. Our common traits, a lot of the skins and furs, a lot of the costumes are going to be in our common box, which is a starting price of 600 meth. But I want to make one qualification here. Our community, like I said about dynamic, determines the pricing, right? So if the community decides that they see a trait that is valuable to them, I'll give you an example. I use this every week. The Alpha Bulls, as an example, is an Alpha shirt. The Alpha shirt itself is not ranked high in ranking in our collection. It's actually fairly low. But a group of community members decided that the alphas are important. They've established a group that has created some really cool stuff that they're doing. And because of that, that alpha shirt has now gained rarity and value. So there's a possibility that there could be some traits in these common boxes, and it could be a limited amount. Just because it's in the common doesn't mean it's going to be a plentiful amount of traits. It could be limited, but because of what it is, the community could determine how rare it is. And the community is going to determine what that value is if they decide to sell on secondary. So I've had that question about, oh my gosh, all the good ones are going to be in the epic and legendary. Yeah, the good ones are going to be there. Doesn't mean that we're not going to have good ones in the common. And that's going to be the fun part, is to see how the community gravitates towards these loot boxes and how they're pulling these traits and deciding to outfit their apes. Now, I made a comment about the starting price. And this comes into dynamic again. Everything I'm using is dynamic. Our pricing in our loot boxes are going to be dynamic. So the prices I gave you, 600 meth for the common, 0.10 for the epic, 0.25 for the legendary, are starting prices. The community is going to determine what the price is based on how often they open the box, how many times they're purchasing, how many they're purchasing. And we have an algorithm that's set up that is going to adjust that pricing accordingly in each of these boxes. It's going to be dynamic pricing. So if you get a flurry of purchases, you can push the price up. If you get kind of a downtime that nothing's being purchased, the price could come down. So that's going to be where community members are going to start watching trends, right? I think her crypto said trendsetter. Well, I think we're going to see potentially trends in our loot boxes as well, and purchasing times, right? When are they most active? When are they least active? Very similar to what happens with Ethereum and gas fees. We all play the game. We know the best times of the day to go in and do certain things on the blockchain because it's going to be cheaper in gas fees. Well, same thing applies here. You're going to pay attention to the loot boxes, see how they're being activated, how they're being opened, how often, watch the pricing, watch the ebb and flow of that pricing to determine when your best entry point is into the loot boxes. Super cool. I love how it's dynamic, and it's going to make it as another fun aspect of our project. So that's all based on community engagement. Now, I want to talk about rankings because rankings, I mentioned it earlier with traits and their rarity, can be ranked high. So if you go look at the Bulls collection, you can look in there and see that all these really cool gold bodies are ranked higher. And that's based in the Bull collection on one, that they're given a rarity factor as comparative to most collections. Golds have always been considered rare. But there's also a factor of how many are in the collection, right? So we have a tool called Trait Ranks, and our Trait Ranks tool is customized. Anthony is the brainchild of it. He created this amazing tool that uses these really cool complex algorithms to help to establish what our rankings are for our collection. Because we have, even with our bulls, we had so many different traits. It was difficult for some of those existing ranking tools that are currently out there right now to accurately rank where our bulls landed. And we didn't feel that it was giving a fair consideration to what our traits were. So Anthony created this tool, worked with our dev team. It's amazing. That's what our community uses. Well, we're going to be harnessing that tool, that ranking tool. And our apes are going to fall and have a page on that ranking tool. Now, this is important for one main reason. Our ape ranks are going to be dynamic, meaning that as you pull traits on and off your ape, that rarity score is going to change. Every time you commit that to the blockchain and mint it as a quote unquote new token ID, our rarity tool is then going to change, and it's going to move it up or down on that list. So depending on how you're outfitting your ape, depending on how rare the trait is, how unique the trait is, how many are in the collection, how many are actually being engaged and used, because it's only what's on the ape. It's not what's in people's wallets. So if there's 100 of a specific trait out there and none of them are on an ape, but the one that you put on there, well, that may push your ape up in a higher ranking score because you're the only one using it. So that's going to be super dynamic. Now you're going to ask, why is this important? Well, it's important for two reasons. One, because we want to see where that ranking is. I, for one, am going to try to get one of my apes as high on that ranking list as I can. It's a game that I'm going to play. It's going to be fun to see how high I can get it with combining traits and figuring out what's going to work. But not only that, it's also going to determine how often you can open a loot box. So when we start this game, come our launch and our mint out, and a few days after we do our reveal, you're going to be able to go in and open a loot box. But the common loot boxes are only going to be able to be opened every 7 days. So if you've got an ape, you have to wait 7 days. There's going to be this cool power bar on your ape that's going to show this increase in power. And then when you hit your 7 day mark, you can go in and open up a common loot box. Now, this does not affect the epic and the legendary, but this is specific to the commons. So you're going to have to open it 7 days, the first 30 days, because this first 30 days, the apes are getting acclimated with the bulls. They're feeling them out. They're just joined this new community. They were a warring tribe and now they're being accepted. So they've got to get acclimated. So that's what this 30 days is. As soon as we hit that 30-day mark, then your rarity is going to impact how often you can open a box. The rarest of the apes is going to be able to open a box in every 24 hours. The least rare on the bottom is every 7 days. And then it's going to be linear from the first one to the second one. So over 10,000 apes, there'll be different aspects of time that you can open your loot box. And that's going to be dynamic. So if you get an ape and you're like, man, I'm opening every 7 days, but I've got methane that I want to do, I want to really play this game, then you outfit your ape and try to push it up on that rarity score to see if you can open it sooner. So it's going to be super dynamic with how the rarity is going to also affect your ability to open the boxes. All right. I think that's the recap for crypto. Anything you want to add before we jump into the new stuff?
I don't think so. I think that's a great recap. I think definitely looking forward to all of this being put into place, and when we get to start playing the game this way, I'm excited to see the different traits that are going to be minted. So no, I think it sounds like you covered everything. Methane token for the common, ETH for the other two. A few people I know are wondering uh the dynamic pricing and some of that information, but it's gonna be so interesting. And I like the rankings as far as so it's very similar to our teens where it's a dynamic ranking system.
Right. Yeah, it's very similar to teens. If you've had a teen, and I had this happen in the very beginning, I minted this teen. I'm like, oh, super cool. He was ranked number 10, right? I'm like, yes, number 10. I think he's ranked like 26 now. So he got pushed down because more teens got minted that were a higher ranking than him, and that was dynamic. But it was usually dynamic only in one direction. It was always down. I don't think it ever went up because even if you had collections that fell under you, it's not like you moved up in ranking. So now that did change with resurrected teens because if you went into the underworld and use that resurrection power, which is super cool that the gods create, you could resurrect a teen. And if you resurrected a teen that happens to be ranked higher than the one that you're sitting, then you could be pushed up, or you could be pushed up on that scale based on bringing that teen into the collection. So that was dynamic as well. But this is just dynamic on a whole different level. I mean, we're talking about literally daily changes. People change it and remint a new ape. It's going to be flying all over the place. I mean, I may look at my ape today and then log in tomorrow and be like, holy crap, I was number one and now I'm number 30. How the hell did that happen? So then I'm going to start looking at those apes and be like, oh, that's what they did. Oh, cool. Somebody minted that trade. I never saw that before. Where'd that come from? So that's going to be where it's going to get really cool. And maybe I look at a trait and I'm like, oh shoot, I want that trait, but man, that trait's not available anyplace, and it's only on that ape. Well, I got an opportunity. Do I want to buy that ape, or maybe I want to try to find this person? Go into our trading corner in Discord and say, hey, who owns this ape? I want to see if they want to let go of that really cool trait. I've been looking for that. I'd love to have that. Well, maybe we have deals going that way too. Maybe that's a strategy. Maybe somebody de-equips that trait and just sells you that trait. They can do that. Sure, they're going to change the ranking, but that's part of the fun of the game is how somebody wants to play. If they want to just mint and sell, if they want to outfit and put it out there so people can see it, and then they make an offer on the ape or a specific trait, it's going to be crazy. It blows my mind to think about how much and how many different strategies there's going to be.
I know. Speaking of how much and how many different strategies, I am gonna. We got one request I'm gonna bring on stage, and I'm gonna roll through a couple questions here as well in the Discord. So apes, will they come with a free loot box, or is it only for the 5K pass holders during the pre-mint? So for clarity for everyone, every ape will come with that loot box. So we announced that during the pre-mint as a early alpha like announcement that each ape minted will come with a loot box. So when you trade in your mint pass, your ape portal pass is your security that guarantees that you have the ape to mint on mint day on February 7th, or as we release that information. Um, your ape will come with a loot box, and then everyone who mints during the tiers, each ape will also come with that common loot box.
Yes. Now,
Um,
I want to make one clarification. One clarification. I've said a lot how all these traits are NFTs. The loot box itself is not an NFT, so you can't trade and sell the loot box. What we're giving away a free opening of a loot box. So when you go on the website with your ape, you'll get an opportunity to open that loot box for free without having to pay the meth charge. So it's a free opening. It's not like you can trade. Because I had somebody else, oh, can I sell my loot box? No, no. It's actually a loot box on the website, and you get the opportunity to open for free. It's like that. It's like when you go to a casino and you get that ticket, you get that one first free spin, right? You walk in there, hey, here's a free spin, and you get to go over that one special slot machine, and you get that one free pull and spin. That's what we're doing. Yeah, come in and try this thing out, because how are you going to know what the experience is, or have the experience of minting an NFT or a trait unless you get to try it at least once? So what we're doing. Everybody's going to get a chance to try it once. You can try it. You can be like, holy crap, this is cool. I'm going to play the game. Or you can be like, no, I don't know if I'm going to play the game. And then maybe you don't. But I want to make one clarification here. We are offering the 6-month ETH back guarantee with our second collection. We did this. It was groundbreaking with the Bulls. 6-month ETH back guarantee, no question to ask. You come to our website, you click a button, you get your ETH back. The only qualifications that we had for the ETH back guarantee was, number one, you could not move your bull from one wallet to another after the first 3-hour window, and you could not participate in the tokenomics, meaning you could not claim methane that the bull was earning. So we're doing the same thing with the apes. You're going to get an option to be able to have ETH back, and you can do that ETH back with some qualifications. Number one, you're not going to be able to move that ape from wallet to wallet. That's the same. You cannot participate in any of the tokenomics, which means you cannot pair it up to your NFT to generate more methane. You cannot spin that free loot box. If you do that, then you just disqualified that ape from being able to be returned for your Ethereum. So just keep that in mind. That as you mint your apes and you're getting ready to play that game, I'm open on all of mine, man. I'm not holding back because I want to get traits. So everybody can decide what they want to do, but that will be a disqualifier if you participate in the tokenomics.
right. So that means any of the tokenomics, the loot box, the multiplier, assigning them to multiply, any of it. You
Yep.
won't be yeah.
Anything.
Anything. So this one, will apes mint with rare traits, or will the traits only be available in like the most rare, which like you were saying earlier, it depends on how you define rare, um be available in the ETH loot boxes. So when we mint apes, will they be naked with all about the same rarity?
Yep. Super cool question. So yes, there are going to be. You're going to see that when the apes are minted, they are going to be minted with warring type outfits or scavengers, right? These are warriors. So it's going to be, you're not going to see a race car ape that's going to get minted. You're not going to see an alpha shirt ape that's going to be minted. Because keep in mind, these traits, and this is what's important about the lore. If you watch the lore, we released the lore before we released this gamification, the tokenomics. The apes are coming in with certain outfits on them, right? They have these warrior outfits and these scavenger outfits. And when they start acclimating with the bulls, they start trying on their outfits. They start assimilating with them and trying on the stuff that they've got. And then they find out how the bulls created all these outfits. Because keep in mind, if you would have watched chapter 4, I think it was, when Subject 1 went out into the tundra, the icy tundra, and found the creator's ship, and he found that that projection device, brought it back in, and all the bulls watched it and they saw these really cool costumes. The bulls then went and created all these costumes. That's how it worked in the lore, right? They made the police outfits and the race car outfits because they wanted to emulate what they saw these humans doing from the 20th and 21st century. So the apes are coming in doing the same thing. So they're going to start trying on all of these cool outfits, but they're going to then get creative and they're going to start making their own outfits. So that's how it's going to work with our traits. You're going to get traits that are going to be naked, simple, basic furs, nothing extravagant, and some basic costumes, some basic weapons, some basic tools, some cool stuff though. Trust me, they're super cool. But when you want to get to those traits that are unique to the bulls, unique to the teens, or some cool stuff that we're introducing to the collection that's not been seen yet, that's going to be accessible through the loot boxes. But I want to make one comment here because I think this is important. So, as people get these apes and they start de-equipping them, pulling off of these warrior type traits and these scavenger traits, they're going to put them in their wallet, and they start adding traits that they're getting from the loot boxes, it's very possible that those traits you're pulling off become more and more rare because less apes are going to be equipped with them, right? So that's going to be part of the game as well. Maybe you want to wear a certain outfit, but you want to have this warrior staff that comes with it, or this really cool weapon. Like as an example, we showed a chainsaw in the lore. Chainsaw is not available in any of our bulls. Maybe it's going to be available in the apes. So maybe you want to have a chainsaw. So there are going to be traits that, even though they're coming as part of the mint, they are crazy cool, man. We do not disappoint. Trust me. If you guys have seen the art, you've seen what we're putting together, you see how crazy the detail is. We did not spare any expense in detail with the traits for the apes, the new traits, and even the traits that are coming. They're going to be amazing NFTs just the way that they're minted. I'm going to struggle, I'm sure, because I've seen a lot of them de-equipping these apes because they look so badass. I'm going to have to really decide. Maybe I want to keep a couple of these the way they are because they're really, really cool. So that's going to be a fun dynamic to watch as well.
All right, we got a few people on stage. USMC Vet was up first. I do see 996. Your hand is up, but we're gonna go to USMC first because they were here, and then we'll go to you, and then I believe it's Doc B.
Hi, her crypto, Tankman. Yeah, I have a couple questions. I was discussing with a few community members, so I kind of came up with a couple questions. When my first question is like, like I said, I was strategizing, like, what I can do, as far as earning extra math. So, my first question is how does being an OG bull holder actually benefiting us from minting the A portal pass? Because in order for you to actually, get the multiplier, you need to buy a replenishments from, like, the people that has replenishment, and those people that has those replenishment has god bulls that open god boxes. So, and then the other thing is, like, I just don't see like 5 math, earning 5 math extra, like really like a big deal. Like, if I see, like, maybe like 10, 15, 20 math, maybe like I'll take a gamble and buying a replenishment.
I totally understand, and so you know what? Let's do this for crypto because I think I'm feeling some questions that I think are going to be covered with the new things.
Yeah.
So run through the new things real quick. I'm going to shelf your question real quick. Let me run through these new things, and then I'll circle back around and I want to talk about what the benefits are of an OG. Okay, so let's do that real quick because I think it's going to be beneficial for people in the audience, and definitely if the email's gone out, I'm sure there's all kinds of questions. So let's address that. So the first thing I want to announce is I made this comment last week when we talked about the multiplying effect. And we had a question about, well, is the OGs are going to be the only thing that's going to be multiplying? And the answer I did not answer. The reason I didn't answer is because we're announcing that today. So our apes will multiply any tokenized community NFT. I'm going to repeat that. Our apes will multiply any tokenized community NFT. So right now you're probably saying, well, shoot, if I can multiply any NFT, then why do I want an OG? Well, let me answer that question. So a tokenized community NFT is only earning 3 methane per day. If you double it, it's 6. That's cool. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from that. That's super awesome, but it's definitely not 20. Okay. BOTB, our collection, the highest rank on the levels is 4. The same thing with our teens, and those are earning 8 if you use a multiplier. 8's cool, still not 20. So we are going to be having the apes multiply any NFT in your wallet. So if you're tokenized community and you're able to buy from the very beginning, and you're trying to think about what your strategy is, yes, you could pair this to one of your current NFTs. It'll be lower earning. It's going to take you longer to earn the methane you need to open the loot box, but it's still possible. So the OGs are still the best way to go as far as meth earning. Now, if you have a zero breed bull in your wallet, sure, a zero breed bull is going to earn 15 methane. So maybe you're going to leave that because you're only seeing 5. But if you've got a bull in your wallet that has 1 or 2 breeds in it, it's only earning 10. Now you're trying to decide, okay, is it worth it to get 10 additional methane per day? I'd say it is. So now you have to consider, like you said, where that replenishment is coming from. So this brings me to my second announcement. Replenishments are not only going to be available via the God box through the gods, but they're also going to be in our Epic loot box. So there's going to be an opportunity for you to actually mint a replenishment in the Epic loot box, which in turn you can turn around and sell if you want, or if you want to hold it and bring your OG bull up to a 3 breed replenishment, you can do that as well. So that gives our holders that aren't God bulls a little bit more control over the game, so they don't feel like they're so beholden to the gods to be able to set prices, right? Because I think that's the question you're getting at, and I'm sure that other people have thought is like, well, shoot, if only God bulls can do this, they're going to set these prices so astronomically high, I'm not going to be able to get to them. Or maybe the God bulls are larger holders and they're going to want to replenish their OGs first. So they're just going to keep using those and I'm never going to get an opportunity to get it. Well, they will be available in our Epic loot box. So that's super cool. All right, resurrected teens. I want to mention that. So we talked about the resurrected teens not being multipliers. But we went back and looked at the benefit of resurrection and how does that play in the tokenomics. We realized, you know what? We don't think there's enough respect given to these resurrected teens, right? They've made it through the process. They were burned to get to a god. They were drug out of the underworld by the sacrificers in the Lord, brought back up to the regular world, and were given this great power to generate methane. But they only generate 5 methane. So we're going to increase the resurrected teens to 7 methane per day. Now, what's cool about the resurrected teens is it's compounding just like our OG bulls. I mentioned that earlier and I said I was going to kind of shelf that comment. Well, this is why. So maybe your game is to collect these resurrections, get yourself a resurrected teen, and then with the resurrected teen, you're now earning 7 methane per day, compounding, so you're not in there every day having to harvest. So that's another strategy, a little extra bonus. Now, I've got another big one for you, and this is a big one, and this is what I'm excited about because our God Bull holders have been like, man, where's the love for the God Bull holders? And now you're not going to be able to multiply us. That sucks. We want to be able to have more methane. So we heard it, and we've been thinking about this a lot, a lot. And we understand the God Bulls are the top as far as what our collection is right now. It's a 500 limited collection. As I said earlier in the show, one just sold for 7 ETH just yesterday. So the God Bulls are all now going to earn 100 methane per day. Again, I'm going to repeat that 100 methane per day. So if you have a God Bull, don't worry about not being able to pair it up to an ape. It's going to earn a 100 methane per day. And with that, hopefully you're going to generate more God boxes and get more of those utilities out to the community that want to use them. So that's going to be another aspect, fun change of the game. Now, all of this methane generation, I know that we have a lot of wallet watchers in our community and some that really pay attention to 2 specific wallets we have. We have, excuse me, we have our contract where you're holding to earn, and that's the earning contract that you're pulling methane out of every time that you're claiming with one of our OG collections, and that's our OG, our teens, or our God Bulls. And then we have our treasury, which also has additional methane in it in our contract. So what we're doing is we're going to be increasing our holding rewards, the contract amount to 300 million methane from 210. And we're doing this because we know that we're increasing the generation of God Bulls. We're increasing the generation of these resurrected teens. We're now also increasing the generation of the paired OG Bulls with the apes. So in order to keep that 2.5 to 3 year projection of methane earning, we're going to increase those holding rewards from 210 million to 300 million. That's so we can keep our promise to our OG holders that they're going to be able to earn methane for a few more years. So that's going to be about maintaining 3 years from the date of mint to be able to earn that methane and bring it into the ecosystem. Now, what's important is just because it comes out of the holding rewards does not mean it's gone, because we have now a vibrant economy that's going, and that methane is being circulated, just like I commented earlier, in our entire economy. So that's still happening in conjunction with these holding rewards. All right. So that being
Woo!
said, I know a lot, right? Let me
No, I
circle.
think no,
I'm gonna,
let's circle back and just go through a quick bullet point. I think a few people are like now breathing. I think everyone was holding their breath. They're like, "Wait, what? What are you guys doing? What's happening? What about my God bulls? What is this?"
I know, huh?
Listen, I feel you guys. I see you all on the Discord. Everyone is woo. Wait, it's getting warm, and I'm like, everyone just. I know. I'm like, there's more alpha coming. Hold, please.
Yeah. So and we have more details, you guys. Trust me, this is not the end of the gamification. You know, it's funny. I'm in a lot of DM groups, and I watch the conspiracy theories and the advice that we're given. Sometimes I laugh because I know that, how our community is viewing this is through a very narrow lens. They don't see the overall picture, and we have a lot more to talk about over the next couple of weeks about the gamification. Like I said, I'm doing this in dribbles so that way we can get it out. But this gamification goes deep, and it's going to go deep, and it's going to have a lot of different layers to it that are going to take into consideration the amount of methane that's out there and all of that. So I just want to make sure
Yeah.
that I iterate that. Super
Yeah, I
important.
know. I know. I agree with you. I was going to say, because that was a few people asked some questions. And I think the number one thing, and we're going to run through, Tank's going to like highlight, go through the bullet points of what we just announced. 'Cause I know it was a lot. We've gone over a lot of information, but um, the biggest thing to remember as we release this information and as we tell you guys, the new gamification, the new tokenomics we're coming up with, when we announce something in one area, we've looked at our whole collection. We've looked at the tokenomics across the board, and we've always said we always take care of our OG holders, and we always will. Like that is definitely a priority. That's something we absolutely always lead at the forefront. Is okay. We want to introduce this new cool thing, and how is it going to affect this, and how can we like help everyone level up and rise up? So I think it's really important to just remember that. So let's run through real quick, though not real quick, but just the bullet points. We got a few hands up. I think people are really excited. So run through what we just announced.
Yeah. So let's do real quick. So first thing, actually, I'm gonna pull up my list here so I make sure that I don't miss anything. There's so much stuff to talk about. I'm just gonna talk about the new announcements that we just made. So sorry, I had a little bit of a cough there. All tokenized communities get to be paired and get multiplied. That includes our teens, non-resurrected teens. That includes all of the BOTB assets in any tokenized community. Keep in mind that duplication or that sorry, I apologize about that. That multiplier is only twice. So if you have a tokenized community NFT, you're earning 3 at the top level, then it's going to get duplicated and doubled to 6, which is cool, but it's definitely not what an OG is going to do. Resurrected teams will increase to 7 meth per day. That 7 meth is compoundable, just like the OG bulls. Gods will increase to 100. Let me rephrase that. Gods will increase to 100 meth per day. You cannot pair those with apes. And we're going to be adding replenishments into the epic loot boxes, and we're increasing our holding rewards from 210 million to 300 million. So I want to go back and answer the question about, well, why are OGs so valuable if they're only earning 5 methane per day? Oh, lonely, only 5 methane. Well, I mean, that's your decision, right? If you think 5 methane is valuable over a longer period of time, maybe that's where the game should be. Maybe it's not. We're not saying that. I did make a comment though, something about the breeding button not going away. So who knows? You never know if an all bred out bull is important. But I'll leave that for later. So I mean, a fully bred bull is ready to breed is important. So always expect the unexpected. I mean, we're not doing everything. We do everything for a reason, right? So yes, I understand that people. I'm even watching DMs. Well, why? What's 5 methane? For some people, it's going to be important. For me, it will be. I will increase my bulls with 3 breeds because I want to be able to generate 20 methane per day across however many apes I'm collecting. That may not be the same strategy for everybody. But I do also want to remind you that our OG bulls are the center of our collection. We will always do things that are going to benefit the OG bulls up foremost, right? Maybe you don't see it right this minute because all you're seeing is 20 methane per day versus 15. But trust me, there's things coming that are going to benefit the OG bulls. On top of that, the OG is giving you access to the inner circle. The OG is providing access to VC deals. There are things outside of our tokenomics, and we're providing and bringing more utility to OG bulls that are going to be outside of tokenomics. We're not a one-trick pony here. We're not just doing tokenomics. We're bringing other utility as well to the OG bulls. So I'm hoping our community will see that. And if they don't, they don't. If they're selling them for cheap, well, then I'm going to definitely look at picking up a couple because I know where the value is. But keep in mind also, the OG bulls is your access to tier 2 right now as well. So if you want to get on tier 2, that's another great access point to make sure you can get on tier 2 to get your ape if that's what you're looking for. I hope that answered your question. Maybe not directly, but that's where we're at right now.
All right, we're gonna keep rolling through. We got a lot of hands in the air. So 996 Twin Turbo, you were next.
Thanks for getting me on stage. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet and get this out so other people can talk. Question number 1, it sounds like the contract is pretty complicated for playing around with the apes. Is that going to be fairly costly in gas? 2, we're bumping along, waiting on a 7-day period on the apes to open a loot box. Say you're top ranked and all of a sudden you get dropped down in rank quite a bit. Do you finish out your power recharge before it gets longer in duration, or does it affect you immediately? And 3, do you have to pair an ape with a teen bull like you would an OG, or does it affect all of them?
Okay, first question. Yes, the contract is super complex. However, all of our traits are 1155. So if you guys noticed when you minted the 1155s on the portal pass, it was really, really cheap. I think I minted 30, I have 35 portal passes, and literally it cost me $2.80 to mint all of those. So 1155 is the direction we're going. And we are we're hoping that excuse me, the gas fees aren't going to be as astronomical. Of course, we don't control the blockchain, so everybody's gonna have to pay attention to that. We will, however, have what we call a configurator on our website, so you will be able to outfit your ape and take a look at it without ever committing it to a blockchain. To see how it feels, right? So on your configurator, just like that video, you're going to be able to move traits around, check it out. Ooh, I like that. I don't like it. And then you commit. When you commit to the blockchain, only the traits you change are going to be paid. So I did mention that there's 17 traits on an ape, but you're not going to pay for 17 different transactions. It's only the traits that are changed, because those are individual NFTs, are going to impact your gas fees. So we've already done a whole bunch of testing, and it's been fairly reasonable. It's actually been less than what it's been costing us to mint teen bulls. And teen bulls today, or I minted incubators, was like $6 to mint an incubator today. I minted teen bulls the other day, and it was around the same. And in our testing, it's actually been less expensive. So we're excited about that. So that'll be cool. But unfortunately, we don't control gas fees. So we're kind of stuck by that. All right, second question. Oh, you rattled them off, and now I lost my train of thought. You're gonna have to repeat what the second question is. I'm sorry, my brain is a little fried today.
That's
Not been a little bit under.
Yeah, that's fine. It's about the length of time on opening a loot box, and if you drop in
Yeah.
rank, does that change the time immediately?
Nope. Nope. So you'll finish out where your ranking was when it was established initially. So as soon as you open a loot box, that resets your power bar. You'll finish out that power bar even if your ranking drops. Same thing goes if you increase your ranking. So if you increase your ranking midway of your power generation, it won't reset until you actually open that next loot box. Then your power generation will change. And the third question.
That
Sorry.
was pairing an ape with a teen or a
Oh, pairing.
BOTP.
Yes. So like I said earlier, when you pair, you have to make that function happen. We're not going to auto pair. And the reason why we're not auto pairing is because pairing with any NFT disqualifies you from the ETH back guarantee. We don't want to be that project that says, oh, you should have read the small print and you have to unpair them. No. We're going to let you make that choice. So when they go into your wallet, they will not pair with anything until you actually execute that function on our website to say, I'm going to pair these two together. Now, this is an interesting point. Let's say I pair a bull and an ape together, a bull and a teen together, a bull and a bear from BOTB, whatever the pairing is. And let's say I sell, not change the ape, because keep in mind, one of the things I mentioned earlier is that we're creating a unique BAP ID, right? Part of that BAP ID is so that way when we pair, we have an anchor point, because we can't anchor to a token ID, because every time you change out the outfit, the token ID is going to change because you're reminting it to the blockchain, right? You're recommitting it to the blockchain. So through the trait number, that BAP ID is how we're going to link those two. But if you sell that ape, it decouples that bull now goes back to generating 10 methane per day. Or if you sell the bull, it decouples it from the ape, then that ape is no longer influencing an NFT in your wallet. So anytime there's a movement, and that's either a sell or a movement from one wallet to another, if it comes out of that wallet, no matter how it does it, it's going to decouple from its paired partner, from its symbiotic relationship. So that's something else that'll be, you'll have to watch. So if you've got a bunch of assets and they're all paired up, and I'm going to sell this bull, now it decouples. You need to go back in. Oh, I need to then pair him up with somebody else, so I'm getting the benefit of the meth multiplier.
Perfect. Thank you. Great.
Cool. All right. More questions? Who's next?
Yes. Yep. Sorry. Next, we've got Doc B's been on stage. Doc B, do you have a question? Then we'll roll to Big Mac and back to USMC.
I do. What's up, Her? What's up, Tank?
What's up?
Hey, I'm good, man. So you guys are doing an outstanding job. I think everybody will agree with that. And we've been running this promotion, we've been doing this incubator every day with Dino Fam. We've been trying to bless people with an incubator, trying to onboard new people into our community as well as BAP, because you guys looked out for us. We want to look out for you. One hand
Yeah,
washing.
I saw it, man. I can't believe you're giving away an incubator, especially not to throw them minted out. That's got to be really attractive at this point, right?
Right. Well, we have given away 37 at this point.
Holy cow.
Yeah, no, right? When I look at the math, I'm like, bro, what are you thinking? But it's been great because we onboarded some outstanding people who are both in our project, your project, Funky Flies, everybody. It's been great, man. But now, when I go to bed tonight, I don't know. I can wake up in the morning and these things are gone, right? Like the teams could mint out overnight. In other words, my concern is, like, some people are going to get stuck with incubators that ain't gonna be worth shit because they're trying to play this game where they're trying to, stick somebody up for some bread when they could just go get this team and mint them out and we be done with this business and be done with it, right? So, like, I got one more day to be able to give this incubator away, and that's probably going to be it.
No, I would say the incubator is going to be able to mint a team, and only if that incubator doesn't get used. I mean, we haven't set a time frame, but it would have to be in a dead wallet. But I want you to keep in mind, you said yes, somebody could go mint or buy a teen off of the floor. That's true. But I'm going to tell you, there are some rare teens still need to be minted. It's
I just
very
mint one.
possible you could give away that, and somebody could go mint a super rare teen and end up with one of the rarest teens in the collection, because there are some rare teens still to be minted.
Dude, I just minted a fire one, right? Because I was concerned that I was gonna get stuck with all these all these incubators that I had planned to give away to people based on how they came in for this Operation Team Bull. But now we are on the edge now. It's like 300 left or something like that. And so yeah, man, that's all. That's all I got, man. One love, and keep doing what you're doing, and we're gonna keep supporting what you got. Y'all been a blessing to us, and we're gonna be a blessing to you too.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. All right, got more questions? Who else is up next?
Big Mac, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on? So my first question tonight is, where will the meth machine come into play with all this? Obviously, a meth machine makes a teen 5 meth tokens a day, but you could pair your ape with a tokenized community and make 6. Yes, it's only one difference in meth, but it's a godball utility that I was wondering about.
Yeah, Big Mac, I know that you're going to have questions because you run McDonald's, and I get it. Stay tuned. We're going to have some announcements on the meth machine. So
That means alpha.
Yeah,
Alpha will be coming.
yeah, stay tuned. But yeah, we're going to be talking about meth machines. I can just say that.
Okay, and the second question I was going to have is when OG Apes?
When OG, when OG Apes, well, the apes are going to be minting here in
No,
No,
he's
OG
talking about
Ape
the OG
Club.
Ape Club for
OG.
tokenization.
Yeah, I know, Big Mac. That actually, matter of fact, I need to have a conversation with Hershey. So yeah, I mean, we love the OG Ape Club, but you and I have had conversations in the DMs, and you know, we've talked about the project. So definitely, Hershey and I need to get together. Cool. Any other questions? Oh yeah, we got more questions there. Who else has got it?
USMC vet. We're
All
rolling
right,
back
I'm
around.
I'm gonna kind of roll into the couple questions that I have left. This was brought up by another community member. Are the loot boxes gonna be only like trades? I know you mentioned that the epic you can pull a replenishment. So like, you know, common loot box and legendary, can you like pull anything else besides traits in those loot box?
You never know. That's the cool thing about loot boxes is that that's going to be our source to be able to get potentially cool stuff into the community, right? Um, yeah, there's more gamification here, lots of potential. This opens the door for really being dynamic with what we're doing in the project. I dropped a little alpha in the alpha group earlier today. I was in there, so I want to kind of put it out to this community, out to the community here tonight because I thought it was kind of interesting. I was posed a question and I answered it in a way that actually provided a little bit more insight that some stuff that we're doing. So I'm going to answer it this way. And it doesn't really apply to what you just said, but it kind of applies to how our gamification is going to go. Because, like I said earlier, you know, we've announced a certain amount of gamification, and people are looking at what we've announced, and they're coming up with strategies and thinking about, okay, well, what does this mean? What does that mean? The gamification is going to go much deeper, and part of this is, can you imagine um, what if there were ways to collect traits that unlocked other certain things? And that's what I told the alpha group that I was in earlier today, because they had asked a question about what happens when you collect traits and you're building an ape and you're putting things together. And I said, how cool would it be if you did something a certain way and it created another opportunity? And that's how I put it. So I'm just going to throw that out there as we're talking about what our opportunities and potential are with this project, with the apes, not being locked into something like almost every other NFT project is, and where they then have to mint the next project and mint the next project every time they have a new idea or they want to introduce something new. We're breaking that mold. What we're saying is we want to introduce a project. As long as you buy one of these apes and you want to participate, hopefully you have an OG that goes along with it, because if you got an OG, there's definitely going to be benefit there. Um, we're going to introduce some really cool stuff, and you're going to be able to play this game for a while. Doing these dynamic PFPs and providing loot boxes, this accessibility to mint additional NFTs through the gamification is going to open up so many opportunities, so much stuff. And we have already developed so many things that we're not ready to announce yet, that we're going to be announcing over the next couple of weeks. But we have other plans. There's always other plans. There's always things that we're thinking. I said many times in the leading up Tokenomics Tuesdays that we've had over the last 8 months. We're, by the way, episode 41 tonight. So for 41 weeks now straight, I've been doing this show. I talked about how we've been working on the apes since we minted the bulls 7 months ago, over 7 months ago. So this isn't something we just started working it, you know, testing it, figuring out how we want to do the gamification, working with what the dynamic PFPs were, exploring different contract opportunities and types. So we've been thinking about this for a long time. That means that we're thinking about the next move way months in advance. So there's a lot here. It's going to be fun to play this game. It's going to be fun to develop with you guys. It's going to be fun to see how the community strategizes and then starts using their strategies with the game itself. And we always love to see that because we can make tweaks along the way and shift and pivot if we see a benefit to the community. Sometimes the community comes up with some crazy, amazing suggestions, and we've implemented some of those suggestions. So that's what's going to be fun about the apes is it's really, truly going to be dynamic, meaning that we're going to be able to have a lot of fun with this and provide that really cool value back to our community.
Awesome. All right. My next question is, so to get the multiplier for the tokenized project, is it 1-for-1? So you have to own one ape portal pass and like one tokenized NFT to get the multiplier?
Correct. Yes, it's a 1-for-1 multiplier. So one ape multiplies any one of the NFTs that I announced: OGs, teens that have not been resurrected, teens that are not affected by the meth machine. Doesn't Also then BOT Bulls, OG and Evo, the Bears, and any tokenized community. So all of those can be paired so they generate twice the methane, but it's a 1-for-1, one ape to one of those NFTs. And that's why I said the OG, if you're going to pick one and you've got an OG, the OG is the best way to go because that's where you're going to generate most of your methane. Trade that in for your NFT.
So I can trade it in, so I can go shoot for that 420 when I try to trade the my portal pass for the ape.
It's very possible. Keep in mind if you're thinking about 420, because you want that number. If it gets minted, that when you go to OpenSea, that 420 for the token ID will only stay with that ape until it gets reminted with new traits. However, one of the traits is a BAP ID number. So the first time that ape is minted, whether it's via the portal pass or through our mint on February 7th, once that ape is seen with token ID number 420, then the BAP unique ID will match it 420, and then it will then carry on with that ape forever, even if the token ID and OpenSea changes. So that's going to always be with that ape forever, but you'll have to look at the traits to find it.
Awesome. All right. Thank you for answering my question. You guys have a good night.
Cool. You
Bye.
too.
Have a good
Thanks.
night.
All right. We got any more questions here, Crypto?
Yeah, we got a couple more people on stage. Michael came up next. And then after Michael, we're going to go to Blitz.eth. Hey, Michael. Evening. How are you?
Hey. Okay. So you said that the God Bull tokenomics are going to change to 100. The question is WEN or WHEN, depending on how,
So
when's that going to happen?
That first, when we go live with the apes. So all of these changes
when you go live with the apes or when you reveal the art?
Reveal.
Yeah, when we reveal the art, right? Because when we reveal the art is when the gamification will start. That's when you can start participating.
Two more simple questions.
Yep.
I luckily minted the very last sacrifice routine, and the question is, there's 8 of them. Will they play a role? And my second question is, what about the creator? That's it.
Love it. All right. Yes. So right now, the sacrifices are part of the lore, and I look at their value as being unique in the story. I'll put it that way. Are they going to have any kind of, because I'm sure you're asking utility, right? That's the big question. Are they going to have a cool utility? I'm not going to announce anything right now. So, but they're super cool, and there's 8 of them, and I love them, and I wanted one very, very badly and didn't get one. I kept trying, of course, like everybody else. I'm bummed I didn't get it. So that's a bummer. As far as the creator, so we announced that the creator was going to be coming out after the ape invasion. So for anybody that's in the audience is thinking, okay, creator, it's the first time I've ever heard of this. What the hell have we talked about creator? So in our lore, if you watch it, the creator created 9,999 OG bulls. And then he turned himself into an OG bull. The creator is a humanoid energy type person. It's human, but it's an evolved human that's mostly energy. And so he transformed himself into an OG bull to be able to watch his creation, right? And then as you listen to the lore or watch the lore, you'll see how the creator comes to play with bringing the apes into the picture, which was another creation of his that went wrong. It's just really cool, awesome story. You guys have to watch it. But what we've said is that sometime in the future, the creator is going to reveal himself, meaning that one of our OG bulls, one of them, and they're going to be what we would consider floor bulls, meaning that it's going to be a lower ranked, lower priced bull. It's not going to be your number one bull. Will actually, the metadata will change. And one day you'll have a bull in your wallet, and the next day you will have the creator in your wallet. And the creator is freaking amazing. I've seen the art; it is crazy looking. I mean, I'm not going to get it. I'm part of the executive team, so of course I can't get it. I wish I could. But somebody in our community, one of their OG bulls is going to turn into the creator. So it's going to happen after the apes. Definitely going to be some storyline built around it. So pay attention to our lore. We've got a couple more chapters coming out. Maybe you'll see some hints in there. And then as far as any kind of utility or any benefit, you'll have to just stay tuned for that. Hopefully that answered your question.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Cool.
All right, let's keep rolling through. We've got a few more people on stage. Blitz.ef. Oh goodness, this space has been. We're getting close to the end of the space. I can tell. Blitz.eth. Blitz.eth, and then I believe after you, it might have been SEPA.org, and then JL2 Tech.
Yo. It's not really a question. I just wanted to throw some praising out there. I love everything that the Bulls and Apes is doing. I got brought in by one of your members as well, and I've been full out growing ever since, trying to expand my bag. I love what you guys are doing with the boxes. I think that's gonna bring a bunch of stuff that you can do. You could, like you were saying, there might be some surprise things in the loot boxes that you don't even know is in there. I'm really excited about that, and I love everything y'all are doing, and I'm gonna be behind it. This shit's fun.
I appreciate that. You know what's really cool about the loot boxes, and Her Crypto alluded to this last week, is um, and we can't say anything specific right now, but the potential for branding opportunities. Could you imagine for a moment that a brand comes in and says, "Oh man, we want to have a trait created that your apes can wear, that's specific to our brand. We can add that to the loot box. That's something that we can bring to the collection. Um, we can bring it in other ways too. Loot boxes are right now what you guys see, but who knows? Maybe I'm dropping some more alpha. Maybe I should not say anything. Anyways, let me refrain from going too far here before Her Crypto mutes me. But my point is that having this ability to partner with projects, with brands, I mean, let your mind go, right? Whatever you can think of, it's possible now. And we can do it with these 10,000 really cool apes that we have. So to have one and be able to participate in that, some groundbreaking technology, things that no other project has done, it's going to be really, really cool. I'm excited for this.
And that was like you were saying with the common boxes. Everybody's like, oh, I might be not getting good stuff out of that. But like you said, it's dynamic pricing. With that, maybe you could throw one of those. Let's just say it's I don't know, a Gucci shirt or something. Maybe you could throw that in the commons and drive the price up, because the price is going to be as we're going at them. So don't sleep on those common boxes. I'm just going to let everybody know that.
I'm telling you, right? that it's going to be fun, you guys. This is, like I said, you guys have seen one aspect of this project as far as what we're doing related to the loot boxes and the traits. But being able to have this dynamic, I love the word dynamic. I'm going to get a shirt that says dynamic on it. I got to do that. But this dynamic, everything dynamic, right? Dynamic pricing, dynamic PFP, dynamic traits, and all of that is controlled by our holders. Our holders hold the key. The key is the ape that you're going to have in your wallet. You play the game how you want, and you're leading how this project goes. If you participate, if you don't participate, if you buy, if you don't buy, if you equip and de-equip, and if you outfit, and how that outfit is ranked. I mean, everything is really controlled by our holders. Our holders are the game. They're the ones that are going to make this game do what it does, and that's what's going to be really fun about this.
Absolutely. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see how everyone plays the game. And speaking of playing the game and talking about all the information that we've released and all the alpha we dropped tonight, I did go ahead and pen up in the nest. The nest is area above our heads, if you don't know, above our floating heads here, you see. Um, I pinned the space for our Wednesday welcome tomorrow, because that is a new space that we started last week. I think it was the first initial one.
Yeah,
Last week was the inaugural Wednesday welcome. It's going to be going on at least through the 8 mint, maybe longer. We're not sure. We'll see how that goes. But the point of it is that, as you guys see, if you've been here for the whole show tonight, we really appreciate you hanging out. We love that you come here each Tuesday with us. But we are about to hit the 2 hour mark. And we said, as the apes rolled out, we knew there would be more information. And we joked about
we
having
did.
to have, yeah, we were like, this is going to turn into like literally a 4 hour space if we keep having to do everything. So we did create the Wednesday welcome. So the Wednesday welcome is more deep dive into the basics, but it's also a recap. And we're going to talk more about the alpha that we released tonight, the new announcements. So if you guys could please go up there, go ahead and click set reminder. And while you're clicking set reminder, as we go through some of these last questions, tag your friend and let them know what you think the most exciting announcement that we made tonight. Maybe it's the 100 methane token for the God Bowl. Maybe it's the teens being multipliers. Maybe it's the communities that have been tokenized that are now going to be multipliers with the apes, because that's an amazing alpha
Crazy.
drop as well, right? So
I know.
go ahead, click the reminder, tag your friend on that, let them know, and let us know what was your favorite alpha drop that we did tonight. So we're going to keep rolling to the questions here.
Yeah, I'm
SIPA,
loving the questions, man. I love these dynamic questions.
yeah.
Dynamic. I love it.
You're just so we're gonna, yeah, let's get you. I'm gonna get you a shirt that says dynamic. All right, SIPA.OG. SIPA, what's going on?
Hey guys, stepping out of the steam shower again to ask you a question here. This is becoming a ritual. it's I just had a quick question that I thought of while I was sitting here, and it might have already been asked, so you can fly over it if it has. I was just wondering, I open up a loot box and I get a cool hat or something. Can I apply that to all my bulls or just one at a time?
To your apes and only one at a time. So if you get a hat, it's one application, right? So you're going to be able to apply that hat to one ape, and that's it. And then you got to go in and get more traits to apply to more apes if you have multiple apes.
Cool, that's fun too, because then if you want more of the same, you want to create an army of like looking bulls or something, you got to go stacking them. Okay, I guess my question here, I don't mean it to be like negative or anything like that. I'm just wondering why, with all the transactions and being on the ETH chain, it kind of, it stacks up in gas. If I want to be dressing my bulls left, right, and center, I can easily blow through, $100 and changing my outfit over a few months or something like that. I just wonder, is there a reason why the ETH chain is still preferred for most projects and maybe not a secondary one, where a couple pennies? I don't know. I know nothing about that, so maybe you can enlighten.
Yeah, so that's a great question. So we did look at options. We looked at layered options to be able to do something different with the traits. And I know people that are maybe smarter than me when it comes to blockchain may argue with me on this, but the user experience is not easy. To be able to set up the ability to have these multi traits changing out, doing it on a different chain, having because keep in mind we have this multiplier, right? So we've got to have the apes on the Ethereum chain and then try to do our traits on a different chain. I know some projects that have a quote unquote kind of dynamic trait are doing that to a smaller extent. But with what we're doing now and what we want to do coming in the future, and I think that's the big thing is what we're headed with this. It didn't work with what we're trying to do. So that is the downside with Ethereum. I mean, we wish we were in a different position, and unfortunately, as Ethereum starts to rise in price, if gas fees, the GUI doesn't change, then you could see an increase in the value there as well for gas fees. Unfortunately, it's just something that we're kind of stuck with. But that's why we have the configurator. That's why you'll be able to try things out before you commit. You'll be able to go into the configurator, put stuff on, see how it looks. I can't make solid announcements yet on certain things that we want to do with the configurator that could help you to make decisions based on how you outfit. I'll leave it at that right now. You can probably think about what I'm saying here. If we can make that work the way we want it to work, it could be a new iteration of our trait ranks tool. Maybe not when we launch it immediately, but if you guys have seen anything with our devs, they make things better all the time. So expect that when we launch trait ranks and launch our ability to trade, switch things out, our devs are going to be like eagles on this thing, watching everything, and they will start tweaking and changing things to make things more efficient and better, and to give our holders more tools that can help them better make a decision with how they're going to play the game. So we considered all this. It was a very long period of time, weeks, that we dove deep into other options, and it wasn't working for what we needed it to do.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks a lot. Me and the rest of my Blue Man crew, thank you guys a lot. The Athletic Project, we're coming for that tokenization.
Cool. Love it. Get those applications in.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
All righty. JL2 Tech, and then after JL2 Tech, we'll go to John Ricky.
Let's fucking go, guys. Great show tonight.
Cool.
I just wanted to say thank you, guys. Thanks to the team. You guys are killing it. We're having fun. Keep it up, man.
Cool. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I love it, man. Every week I look forward to this, and especially now to get to talk about this. I love to be the messenger with something that's so innovative. It's just amazing to me, and to be able to come out to you guys and talk about this with the community and with the overall space. I mean, I haven't even looked at how many we've been having in this room, but I think we've been holding pretty strong around 250, right around there. That's amazing, and I appreciate all your guys' time. 2 hours is a long time to sit and just listen to me gab. And if you've been here the whole time, I appreciate you. And I appreciate that you're willing to give up a couple hours of your day to come in and allow us the opportunity to share what we're doing in this space, and to share what we want to do with this project, and how we want to change things and make our project dynamic. Love it. There you go. Cool. More questions?
We got John Ricky, and then we're going to start wrapping things up, I think.
Cool.
John Ricky. Once, twice. All right, hang on. We got one more. I don't know if maybe he can't. We'll see if we got Bullish Bear coming up. Maybe John Ricky will come back, and then we will call it a night for all of you, or morning or afternoon, depending on where you are. But Bullish is up. What's going on, Bullish Bear?
Bush, what's going on, buddy?
I think I speak for everyone when I say that dynamic traits are one of the hottest things in NFTs right now. And I'm wondering if you see this as more of something that's really cool right now, or in the future it's going to be something, I mean, just really dynamic. How can you even expound upon something as creative as something that is dynamic traits?
Yeah, I mean, the dynamic trait is cool, right? I mean, there was a few articles that were published during the summer that speculated that anybody that could harness the dynamic trait was going to stand out. We saw that, and it was funny when we saw those articles because we were already months into planning. And then we started to see certain projects dumping, or not say dumping. Let me rephrase that. Showing their dynamic traits, right? Showing how they're calling their project dynamic, and it was cool what they were doing. But we always knew that we were going to do something that was even going to be more than that. So I'm expecting that once our project is out there and people are starting to see how that dynamic trait works and how our tokenomics are dynamic and how the ranking is dynamic and everything is dynamic, right? And that's the word of the day. We may see some copycats, and that's not a bad thing, right? If we're going to do something that's going to help to elevate the space, help to bring some new innovation here, help to make the space more dynamic, then why not, right? And bring it on. I'd love to see more projects adopting our ability to have a truly dynamic project. Did I use dynamic enough in that response? I was
think
throwing it.
I think you use dynamic quite a lot right now for this.
I'm very pleased, right meow. So I mean, you guys are killing it, right meow, and in the future, I think you will as well.
Yeah, you're being funny, Bullish. I love it, brother. Thanks for coming up. You guys, we're laughing because I'm in a DM and everybody keeps commenting on how much I'm saying dynamic because I'm like overusing it. So I just went over the top with it just because it's been goofy. I'm at the end of the 2 hours here and I'm feeling a little loopy myself. So yeah, it is what it is. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah. Speaking of, yeah, at the end of the 2 hours, I think we're gonna start wrapping. We're gonna wrap this silliness up right now.
Did you say you're wrapping it up right meow?
Yeah, well, not quite right meow because right now we got Nikki Teed on stage. Nikki Teed, you're gonna be the last question. You are the winner. Last question of the night.
Oh.
What's up, Nikki?
Oh, not much. I just wanted to check in. I've just heard so much alpha, so much. My brain just won't stop moving. But this has more to do with the prizes that were given during Portal Pass Mint. I know there's been some chat about the IRL event, but will there be more alpha dropped after 8 Mint about that, or what kind of things can we see in terms of getting us all together as a community in real life to kind of even go even further than how dynamic it is right now?
Yeah, oh man, I want to drop some alpha. Let's do that because we didn't talk about it. Yes, we are going to have, we're coining it the mega meetup. If anybody's been in our project since day one, I know everybody sees mega spaces out there, but for anybody that doesn't know, we were the very first project to ever use the term mega space. We coined it and we love that other communities are using it because we were doing it with the Bulls when we were having 1,000, 1,500 people in our spaces. It was so fun. But we're going to be doing the mega meetup. We're super excited about it. It's going to be in Las Vegas. We announced that as well. The mega meetup is going to be, as far as how many people, we're looking at 100 to 200 people. It all depends on how much interest we have. The prize that was given away, if you were one to get one, gives you first access to the ticket. The ticket's going to be a very small amount. We're not charging for you guys to come hang out with us. We're charging a small amount because if you give anything away free, people don't show up, right? So we got to get some commitment out of people. So there'll be a small fee. However, the party is going to be cool. And as a project, we promised our holders that we were going to do this when we got around 8 Mint 7 months ago, that we were going to do a meetup. So we are doing a mega meetup in Las Vegas, but we're going to be adding another God God Bull event right before the mega meetup. So anybody that has a God Bull, if you're thinking about coming and joining us, it's going to be limited tickets. We're going to have more announcements on what that information is going to be, but we'll be doing a back-to-back God Bull event and then rolling right into this mega meetup. And I'm super excited for it. Las Vegas is a great place to be. I just came from there last week. I was at a business convention. Always fun to go gamble and hang out. So it's going to be a blast. I can't wait. And it's coming soon.
Awesome. Thanks for another great space. Her Crypto and Tank, check your DMs. I sent a few or a sure idea for that dynamic over the top usage. But yeah, great space
Nice.
again. Yeah.
I appreciate. Hey, keep in mind too, if there's anybody in the room that won, so we also had another prize that was to work with the executives, myself, because I'm the one leading it, to design a trait for our apes. So we gave that away, and we gave it away per wallet. And unfortunately, when you give it away based on the wallet, we have to wait for people to come respond and come find us. So we had 10 winners. We have a a dedicated Discord channel in Discord. I want to try to find all 10 of those winners. I think we've only found half of them. Her crypto have jumped in there. I'm going to start the process of design. So those 10 winners are going to get to design a trait that will be available in the loot box. So it's going to be fun. That's another really cool dynamic thing about our project is we can give away trait designs. Come design a trait, get to see it on your ape. Super cool. So make sure if you won that you get into Discord, get into that channel. I'm going to be popping in there either tonight or tomorrow to introduce myself and to start setting the groundwork to help you guys through the design process. But no ideas are off the table. Think as crazy as you want to think if you're one of those lucky people to win that prize of designing an NFT for the apes. And keep in mind, pay attention. I'm sure this is not going to be the last time that we're going to give away that super cool giveaway. Nobody else can do that, right? What other project can say that we're going to give away the ability for you to design a trait that's going to be included on our PFPs? We're the only ones that can do it. I'm really proud that we can do this, and it's going to be something fun that we can give away. So make sure you guys are paying attention. And if you won, please get in there and get your name in there. We want to get going, and we don't want to leave you out. Cool. Any more questions for crypto, or shall we wrap this thing up?
No, sir. No more questions. So we are going to call this one a night. But in the nest above, like I said, we did pin the Welcome Wednesday. We dropped a lot of alpha tonight. We talked a lot. We could keep going, but unfortunately, it's just we want to make sure to try to spread the love. Okay, so we are going to be talking more tomorrow during our new space, the Welcome Wednesday. Also at a different time. It's earlier in the day, depending on where you're located.
All right, so I'll let them wrap that up. Definitely an interesting space. If you guys don't know, we got a lot to discuss inside of this space, which is in 49 minutes. Hopefully I'll see you guys there, man. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. I'm gonna move over this information and then come into space with some more alpha for you guys. ETH's doing pretty decent right now too. Looks like it's still uptrending. Has not broken the trend just yet, so we'll see how that pans out by tomorrow. So keep cuffing that dip, look for good support levels, and as always, guys, remember it's beyond crypto. I'm out here.